Alright, can't wait to get brought back to life.
Who's dead?
Oh, I will be.
Pod? Wish I could help you, but I
I'm not
can't help
dead
you till
yet.
like level 19 or some shit.
It's okay.
Whenever I get 5th level spells.
It's okay, we got Healer Gnome here,
True.
Yeah.
who can revivify me at no cost.
Healer gnome, more like
Yeah.
backpack gnome. It's great. Backpack healer gnome. See, that has multiple meanings. 1, you're in a backpack. 2, you're a healer. 3, you're a backpack healer.
Hey, heal backpacks.
True? You should get the mending spell.
I have the mending spell.
Ooh, he
He's a
can heal
backpack healer.
backpacks.
That's how I made my baby Bajoran.
Hmm.
With my little gnome teeth, I shredded the fabric and mended it back together.
That is a weird way to use a spell. There's verbal, somatic, and material components. Yours is just all somatic.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you.
And I guess a little bit of verbal if you're making some chewing noises.
Well, all of his verbal components are spoken in Infernal as well.
That's pretty
Interesting.
demonic.
What?
Pretty demonic.
I don't know what to say about that. He's not demonic. He's a gnome.
Technically, no.
Even
Even
It's,
Infernal is
Excuse me,
demonic.
Infernal is
it's
Infernal
devilish.
demonic or devilish? It's devilish. Yeah.
He
Yeah,
just speaks
you're thinking of
Infernal when he
abyssal.
He just speaks Infernal whenever he casts spells. That's all. Everybody
So
has
he's a. So now we know Healer Gnome is quite the devilish lad.
Mhm. You guys haven't even seen me angry yet.
Seen me angry.
I don't like it when I'm angry.
Have a Snickers. I fixed your problem, Swoldo.
Did I have a problem?
Do you have anger management issues?
No.
Alright.
All
I
right.
am ready.
I don't. I get angry and I kill things. That's not an issue.
God,
I mean, you're not wrong, but
you're not
you know.
you when you're hungry, buddy. Jesus.
Alright, so is everyone ready? Oh shit.
So last week,
On Dragon Ball Z.
into the forest, we started right in front of Feather, talked to her about some coins, asked her if she would tell us the name of the arrow on the coin. Didn't get that out of her. Snuck into the forest, found a new type of bad guy who had an arm that let off green gas and was like cloaked with skin, flesh cloak. It's weird. Kept saying something about protect the tree. We followed. We found a couple of plague bearers weaving new cocoons around dead people. Turns out that the cocoons are also made out of dead people. Like the plague bearers eat bodies and break it down and then weave the cocoon around other dead people. Anyway, that was odd. We kept following cloaked bad guy up until we found the birthing tree. That's a name. There were 4 bad dudes around it. There was Thunder, Taijin, Matrissima, and Kuroda. Thunder was the dude with the cloak and the bird beak that we had following. Taijin was a big muscular dude with like plating, with a big old arm and an axe at the end, and his other arm is a bunch of tendrils. Matrissima was a slender stick woman. Each arm splits into something, and she had acid dripping and bad stuff. And Kuroda was a bulky, swole, muscular, pulsating dude. And his hands
He's
ended
flexing his pecs.
his hands ended in blades, not hands. Each one of them happened to say some stuff. I sense others. The numbers are dwindling. Something is culling them. The spread is slow ever since, quote, father was hurt. And adventurers have not returned. Could not hunt, could not find. We found a cool shield with a face named Wanton for wanton destruction. This appears to be another sentient weapon. Keeps calling Morning a fishing hook. I don't know how she's going to take to that. Things of note. Apparently, if you prove yourself to your weapons, you can speak to them with your mind rather than speaking out loud. Oh, we learned some more lore about big bad mages. There's the Lishrot guy. I don't have anything new about him. There's Zenasa, who created a portal that led to a forest of corruption. Oh, that led the forest to corruption. And then Ortholos, the innovator. We saw a bunch of plague bearers come out of the birthing tree, and then Father showed up. A giant tentacle. We got out of there because we got lucky and found a teleportation scroll. And yeah.
Can we drink ourselves to sleep?
Yeah. We said we're gonna pack away this all in the vault and we'll unpack it tomorrow morning.
That is fair. So now you guys are back in the glittering bauble. And let me change the music from the default menu music to... Boom. Alright. So you guys wake up. But you know, Paxi, you know how you basically ate some spicy food and choked
Yeah.
and fell unconscious?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say you woke up not on the floor after a few face planted, but you're on your bed. And you notice that Morning is currently laying beside you. You also notice something else. Your neck is stinging right now.
Shit.
Got a hickey.
If I, like, wipe the wound, is the similar, like, black goop
No,
from the
when
forest?
you wipe it, you notice that you have a bandage or something wrapped around it.
Oh. Alright. Is there, like, a mirror or something in the room? Can I, like...
I guess there is technically a mirror. Something
Okay.
simple-ish.
I just want to make sure that it's just a regular wound and it doesn't have, like, the black goo of the forest. Can I, like,
You
kind
take
of
the bandage
yank...
off.
Not take it off, but I just kind of, like, pull it to the side and inspect the wound.
You see a big scab. It looked like someone stabbed you in the neck.
I didn't go to bed with a neck stab, did I?
No.
But
Suddenly you hear a contact of Morning going, "Hey, big guy, you all right?
she's still...
You didn't get the spell."
She's sitting on the bed.
Yes.
Alright. I'm gonna yank her over to my hand. Doing my... warlock nonsense. Does she appear?
Yep.
Okay. And I go, Morning. I'm missing some time here. I know I passed out. Well, Ronnie's meal was delicious, maybe too much so. What happened?
Yeah, about that. You know how you ate that food and then you just choked on it?
Sure.
Well, turns out if you stayed like that, you would have died. Thankfully, though, that Ronnie guy, yeah, he came back here. And kind of saw you on the floor. He was mumbling to himself, saying about possibly being too much for you. And when he saw you like that, he just took a knife, stabbed you in the throat to make some, I don't know, like clear an airway?
I got traked by Ronnie.
It saved your life, though. He managed to get some air in you while he pulled out whatever the hell it was that was in you. But he had a good talk with him, though. Seems like a nice guy. I mean, he saw me on the floor. He decided to pick me up and put me right next to you. Kind of him. Decided to say thanks. Boy, was that a funny surprise. Should have seen the way he jumped. He almost jumped his entire height.
It's
not very tall, by the way.
I take it he hasn't met Wellsplitter then.
Oh, I don't know. He seems to have quite a lot of familiarity with Mr. Kelvin. Apparently that he was part of their adventuring party, or at least not officially. Something about being a traveling cook.
Okay.
I don't know. He didn't really seem too inclined to talk with, in his case, a talking weapon. I don't know. But either way, you basically, long story short, you owe him.
Noted. And I will lift my ass downstairs.
Alright. So I'm assuming everyone else is waking up.
Sure.
Athenia. You suddenly wake up to a loud voice like, "Hey, you wake it!"
What?
Hey, down here,
Talking
Miss
to
Little
me?
Miss.
Oh,
Don't forget.
I thought this was a dream.
Hey, Wonton ain't no dream. Wonton's the real deal. Now, who wants to hit shit? Because I want to hit shit.
Let's hold off on that, shall we?
Okie dokie.
All right.
And
And
he
I
just
guess I
goes
move over
silent.
to him. And
He's
I
currently-
strap him to my arm.
has the same taunting expression. A wide grin with a tongue sticking out.
Well, first of all, I guess I get ready for bed. I mean, get ready for the day, and then I strap him on. Something, not wearing armor while resting.
So, I know the healer, healer gnome and... Wait, actually, were they sleeping in the... Yeah, I don't remember where they
I
went.
think they said they were drinking through the night.
I think I just passed out downstairs because
you
all
did
of the
not-
people who went upstairs are crazy.
Exactly, and... Yeah, so basically, Calvin just gave you guys a complimentary nightcaps, which, upon drinking, knocked you the fuck out. Saying, yeah, everything's open again. You can see he's already there, preparing his lineup of fine liqueur. And
Actually,
he's kind of still looking a little confused, because you guys never did elaborate how the fuck you, popped out of nowhere.
Paxi,
Yes, healer.
I would assume we're gonna go see Cray today, right?
I do believe we are, but I believe we're going to need Mr. Kelvin's word to get us through the gates.
Speaking of, you still haven't explained what exactly happened after you went off and then popped back here in a flash of blue light. I'm going to need a little bit of explanation.
I'll be more than happy to tell you and Miss Cray and Miss Feather all at the same time, so I do not have to repeat myself.
So,
it is,
hey,
it is
Paxi,
a hell of a story.
Taxi, it's alright. I think Kelvin needs to know now, up front, considering we kind of barged in the middle of the day. Night, I guess?
it's
Sure,
currently the morn.
I've lost all track of time. I apologize. Whatever I was given last night did the trick.
As I'd hope. Anyways, yes, the miss does have an excellent point. It would be much better if I know now, not later. Because currently, the whole idea of people just teleporting in is not really sitting well with me.
Oh, you should put some anti-teleportation magic then. I didn't see any signs that said we couldn't. However,
It's not that you couldn't.
So,
Okay,
really not that different from using the door, right? I mean, if we had gone,
teleportation magic is
and
not
came
common.
back in.
So understand that why I am caught off guard, to say the least.
so we were going on our mission, correct? And we were
Indeed.
using the necklace that Miss Prey
Prey.
gave us.
Gray Ashlight, or Captain Gray, if you were to formally refer to her as.
Alright, and Captain Ashlight has given to us. We were
Love that.
scouting, going deeper and deeper into the forest. Suddenly, we came to a clearing. After going through who knows how many monsters that could have torn us apart at any given moment, but I feel we were quite fortunate in that. I digress. We get to this clearing, and what were their names again, Paxi? There were 4 individuals that were looking up at a tree.
We found
Lots
the
of-
birthing tree. We found 4 individuals talking to it. Thunder, Tajin, Matrissima, and Kuroda.
Oh, repeat those names one more time, but slowly.
Thunder, guy with a weird cloak, beak, face, green gas. Know him?
Thunder.
Thunder. Tajin, they referred to him as the Butcher. Muscular, huge, hulking, plated arms. One of them had an axe arm. Another one I could only describe as feminine in stature only, Matrissima.
Prismia.
Also, you. By the way,
Yeah.
Athenia, you hear Wonton speak up again. Hey, yeah, I know those guys. Yeah, you know the whole Taijin guy, the butcher. All of them have those weird nicknamey things too, because Matrismia, or Matrisma. I think it's Matrismia. Yeah, they call her the Acid Weaver. Then there's Kuroda. They call him the Furious Mask, because Mask kind of angry. I think he was a barbarian. And then there's Thunder, right? He goes by Mind Number. Don't want to get hit by them spores, because boy, you'll go lose your mind. Get what I mean?
Thank you, Wonton. And I relay this information to Kelvin. Which I say thank you to Wonton very quietly.
You just see Kelvin. He's not smiling anymore. In fact, he's kind of like brows furrowing, not really looking happy at all. The worst part is I do recognize those names. They were the very first party to venture out into the forest to investigate, and then vanished. Thunder was also referred to as Clap of Thunder. He was a very skilled tabaxi bard. And Taijin, he was a fighter whose might was none matched. Matrismia was a sorceress, and Kuroda was a barbarian. And the fact that they've mutated, or at least become corrupted, as you said, means that the situation is far worse than it was. Alright. That's more than enough I need to hear. If there's any more details you can explain later. He just starts getting up, walking. Hey, Ronnie, can you hold this place for a bit? He goes, lad, at this point, he's going to be asking me this every day. Fine. He just walks out, goes to the counter that's way too tall for him. And then Calvin's like, just beckons with his hand, like, come on, let's go.
Can I? Never mind.
He's all waiting.
Paxi,
Yeah.
before that nosy Nelly butted in, what I was gonna ask you about is, you saw how Cray just lent us that beautiful necklace, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that means she's got money. So what I was thinking is I was hoping when we talk to her today, we could negotiate some things for the party.
Sounds fair. I think the information that we have is more than they bargained for.
Well, like, for example, I could really use some diamonds. Just in case.
Diamonds?
Well, yes, just in case anything happens. It's,
I don't know what you need those for.
One of the stuff components I
I'm
need.
sorry, exactly why do encased diamonds? What are they needed for?
I will pull out a book I have, a little tiny book, and I will start speaking in Infernal, and pointing at the book and like reading off this spell, like and how it's cast in Infernal. I'll say, "See, that's why I need it."
Can I see a lot of people looking at you oddly? Maybe it's because the language sounds pretty intimidating, even your tiny squeaky voice.
It's like Gandalf reading dark speech.
Something like that. That's what I imagine
Do I-
what
do I
human
notice-
sounds like.
Do I notice people?
Everyone's like looking at you right now. I mean,
I use
I'd say
thaumaturgy to boom my voice and tell them to mind their own business in Infernal.
I'm gonna start chuckling. I was like, and I'm gonna look at everybody like, oh, that's a great joke. In your
So the
home
point is,
language.
Well, so the point is, Paxi, is and there's some things that I want that I just can't afford too. I don't know if there's a pawn
hey
shop.
lads, are you going or not? He's leaving you in the dust.
We'll be there. We'll be there in a minute.
I'd like to think we were
Going.
walking and talking as we're.
Alright. In this case, you guys would basically arrive back at the barracks.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like I said, maybe some diamonds worth quite a bit of gold, and I was actually hoping to get a set of rings if she has some lying around, and maybe I don't know what kind of arsenal she's got or spell casting materials, but maybe are you gonna be doing most of the talking, Paxi, when we go in there?
And I'm looking ahead to Athenia, wondering where she got the additional names of these creatures. So I haven't talked to Wonton yet.
Knowledge Wonton don't exist.
Yep.
So
I'm just gonna like let's see if Miss Athenia tells us anything new.
Yeah, which one of you guys is gonna be doing all the talking?
Or you're just asking for the case of when you want to cast guidance.
No, I got
Also,
something else.
By the way,
Uh-oh.
Athenia, as you're walking through the barracks, you can hear Wonton constantly talking, like going, "Oh wow, look at all that! Haven't seen this many faces. They don't look ugly, or at least not nearly as ugly as the limp bastards in the forest. Man, look at all that shiny armor. The only metal I've seen was rusty, or a little shiny, but that's mostly me. Anyway, he's just constantly talking. as he
I'm
goes
only
through his
hearing the
barracks.
voice of Burt Reynolds. Just.
Yeah. So, obviously, as Kelvin's walking down, these guards kind of just let you in without question. Partially because Kelvin's with you. Secondly, it's because they kind of recognize you guys and know that you accompanied Feather and Kelvin last time.
Do I see any of them exchanging bet money?
No, those are the guards by the gates. These guys seem to be acting a little bit more professional, at least, compared to those guards. Anyways, Kelvin leads you guys over to the office once again. And as you guys enter, you already see he's talking to Miss Cray Ashlight.
I need an answer on which one of you guys are gonna be doing the talk.
Athenia.
Doesn't bother me none.
So I'll tug on Athenia. What are you wearing exactly?
Chainmail.
So I'll just tug on, like, do you have like a cloak on or anything?
I'll look at my color here real quick just to. No.
I'll smack your shin with my knife to get your attention, and I'll cast Enhance Ability and give you Eagle's Splendor, so you'll have advantage on all charisma checks.
Okay.
Not sure what this is for, but all right.
And I'll say, remember, I need some stuff.
What thing is? I'm not gonna lie. When you were mentioning Diamonds. That was the last thing I heard.
Yeah, I need a. Well, I think we need some diamonds for the party because this is dangerous work, and if one of you guys falls, it's very hard to bring you back without them. But the
No,
other
no,
thing
no, it'll be fine.
I was really looking for a set of rings, for maybe some buddy rings for Swobo. I don't know. But they have to be worth 50 gold apiece, and they have to be made out of platinum. And she's just not paying us very well, so I was just hoping that maybe we could negotiate some of that stuff in.
You're doing this right in front of her, right?
No, I was trying to do this while we were walking.
Yeah.
So this is this was all supposed. I was actually trying to do this in the bar.
Yeah. Well, all right.
All right. So advantage on all charisma checks, which should
We'll
include
see.
persuasion, correct?
Persuasion is charisma. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. Sounds good.
All
So
right.
you guys enter the office. You can already see she's talking with Kelvin, and you can see her current demeanor. She's looking pretty serious.
Hello, Captain Ashley. Kelvin.
She
Again.
kind of stops, looks at you, looks at Kelvin. Captain Ashlight. He just shrugs. Captain Cray would be a much better term of addressment. Regardless, welcome back. From what Kelvin has told me so far, and your mission, which I presume is not everything, it seems that you've experienced quite a lot within the past day. If anything, I expected that you'd be back much later, not this soon. So, alright, what have you found? Actually, before she does that, she basically starts muttering a few words. Everyone who's around her. Hold on. Let me double check. Make a charisma save.
Charisma save.
Is this zone of truth?
26.
Alright.
Wait.
Damn. So as you guys feel this magic wash over you, you make the save, but then that which allows you to discern that she's casting Zone of Truth.
Called it.
So do you want to continue to save, or do you want to choose to fail?
I mean, she knows that we made the save and would be able to lie.
Yes.
Yeah, but you get the
I
choice.
can just
on
choose
whether
to
you
fail anyways.
Yeah, we can choose to fail.
You know what? It makes no difference to me. I would tell the truth anyways.
It is polite to ask before you cast magic upon somebody, though.
Also, Healer Gnome, you failed.
19 fails?
Yes, barely.
Damn.
You
That's a
two,
high DC.
I'll take the same stance as Healer Gnome, and I'll say maybe ask next time first.
perhaps. It is simple protocol, and I forget that you are not native to Shador. Any guard is allowed to cast Zone of Truth if when they deem it necessary. So, I shall do it again. But this time, know that you're aware. Then she proceeds to cast it one more time.
The police chat. This is a police state.
I'll choose to fail, whatever. Swobo, are you in here?
Oh yeah, I guess so. I'll fail. I don't really care. I'm not really saying anything.
Alright.
I rolled a 16, so I failed again anyway.
Do I need to reroll? If
No,
I
you
choose to
don't-
fail?
If you choose to fail, you don't have to roll. You just fail.
You know what? Hold on.
Also, by the way, when she
Damn.
casts a spell, you notice she stops and starts staring at your shield, Athenia. Then you hear Wonton speak up, in your mind, of course. I don't know about you, but I ain't saying shit to her.
Wait.
He rolled a
Have to
nat-
make it.
He rolled a natural 20.
Wow.
She's like, okay, so you're gonna choose. That shield can lie?
Is she
Wait, is that what
saying?
she said?
Is she saying this out loud?
No, she's just staring. Then she starts slowly
Can an
shaking her
animated
head.
object even be affected by that spell?
Yeah, they have rolls.
So she just like stares at your
Shouldn't
shield a
only
little bit.
affect creatures?
It went from going that little taunting, tongue sticking out smile to being a wink. But she just like looks at it, slowly looks at you, back at the shield.
So this shield is self-proclaimed to be Wonton.
Self-proclaimed, Kelvin just speaks up. As in...
I kind of eyeball that.
You see, well, let me start from the beginning, shall we? So first of all, we go into the forest to scout using the necklace you provided us, yes. We make our way to near the
Indeed.
center, dealing with many creatures. Thankfully, no physical encounters. But we get to this very large tree, dubbed the birthing tree. Isn't that right, Paxi?
That is what they called it.
In which we
They call him
encountered
father.
Nope.
They did
Nope.
not call it
Father was the
father.
tentacle that tried to squish us.
Which comes up to our next point. In this clearing with this tree, this very large tree, we noticed it spawned plague bearers. Hence the name the birthing tree. Which, that answers the question of where these plague bearers come from. But that wasn't the most disturbing piece of information. We, or rather, Paxi, had found the shield here, and I'd show it, where he started to struggle carrying it for some reason. Not quite sure what was that all about, but
It was
it was
really
handed to
heavy.
me. It was handed to me very soon after. Then started to
Oh wait,
speak
so
to me.
the symbol on there was a symbol on the shield or a symbol near the shield that matched the same remnant necklace that you had.
Calvin just starts stroking his chin. So you're saying that shield was made by Lishrot?
Yes.
Where's the symbol on the shield? It's just
On the back.
Oh, okay.
It's not in place. It's basically it's kind of
Yeah.
look behind it.
Like a maker's
Yeah, I just
stamp,
kinda-
basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was given to me. In which it is quite peculiar. It was relaying information about the 4 individuals that were standing in this clearing. And which their names were. I wonder if I pinned that information. Let me see. Is it pinned in the campaign one? No, I should.
I have it.
No.
Thunder,
okay.
Chaijan, Matrismia, and Corota.
So it involves 4 individuals: Thunder, Hyjan, Matrismia, and Corota. Thunder had. Well, okay, I guess I
Just
described them.
re-describe it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is exactly why I didn't want to tell you.
Yeah. She just starts nodding like, Kelvin already filled me in on that. Well, at least we found our missing adventurers.
Unfortunately, that wasn't the only thing that was disturbing. They were talking about someone named Father, or in this case, or rather,
Big Papa, you know?
Big Papa. Instead of saying Father, I say Big Papa because that's the only thing that I was told.
They just both blink when you say that, and his shield just like, yeah. That's what I call him. Not the official name, of course. Kind of forgot because, been there for a little too long.
The giant tentacle is actually Biggie Smalls.
Cool part is at least you got to watch the entire process, from how that tree grew from a regular tree. Pretty cool in a kind of sick way,
So, this Big Papa was called, and I'm not sure what the official name for it is, had a giant tentacle lash out and destroy a building. But, thanks to
Lucky you
my
only saw
shield
one of
team-
them.
What the fuck is this?
I only
Jesus.
see the bottom of that picture currently, and I'm not sure I want to know what the rest of it is.
You don't.
What the hell? What the hell?
So, this creature with the giant tentacle crushing us would have killed us all if it weren't for Wonton, and I gesture towards the shield, just telling me about a way to escape, which we found a scroll in one of those sacks that they used
Don't
to
forget that
transform
one
people.
potion, too, Don't want to forget that.
I didn't mention a potion, but I'm not lying because it's not relevant. And honestly, at this point, I don't think Athenia remembers the potion.
I don't remember the potion.
Her adrenaline was kind of going during that scene. So, not mentioning the potion. But we found the scroll
Is Athenia
that
saying
teleported
all
us
this out loud to the shield?
No,
Arguing back and
No.
forth with it.
no.
So, she starts slowly nodding. Seems like she's trying to process this information. Then she just starts shaking her head. This is well above my own pay grade.
Well, above ours, too.
So, your shield was how much? From what you tell me, it seems to know quite a lot about this whole ordeal. Will you allow me to talk with them?
That's up to the shield.
Wonton just says,
Sure.
"Fuck no."
Right now,
I don't want her grabbing hands on me. I already got one lady. I don't need two.
So he declines to acquiesce to your request.
Agree.
You just told it. You just
No.
kind of told her to suck it, but that works too. So he just slowly nods. Now looks at Kelvin. Kelvin shrugs again. Alright, well, to say the least, you've more than fulfilled your contract at this point. So she walks over to the desk. Well, she's already at the desk. Pulls out that golden paper. She then grabs the pen, or the quill. You can see that the feathers move slightly. When she touches the contract, you notice that it starts fading into a green, goldish green mist that quickly dissipates. When that happens, all of you feel a little tingly for a moment, and then it seems like a weight was lifted off your shoulders. Then she says, "Alright, you will be compensated for the contracted amount. 12 gold apiece, plus 2 bottles from my collection."
If I may, Captain Frey, if we were to encounter an issue like this again, or rather, a very precarious situation, one thing that we have requested is, or rather, our party is concerned about, is material components, such as diamonds or rings.
You just hear Kelvin laugh like, "Oh, sorry."
Is
Ray
this-
just looks at him. Sadly, in terms of dealing out the material components, that is out of our jurisdiction. The palace, and most importantly, the court cleric are the ones responsible for dealing with such materials. Or at least when it comes to spell components, because I presume that's what you're referring to.
Yes. Is it possible to negotiate this with anyone else? I understand it is out of sight of your power. Is there anyone we could talk to gain said or
Normally,
checking the
I
word.
would say no. However,
compensation
the-
makes sense?
seeing the valuable information you provided, I think I can work something out. But first, the medallion.
Yes, and I hand back the necklace.
She takes it, walks over to
You
the drawer.
Remove that from my
You
inventory.
can see that little drawer, like its materials, like spontaneously appears as she pulls it out. He sets it in there, closes it, and then it just fuses with the desk. So this is what I plan to do. So she grabs some papers, sets them out. She proceed to write with a normal quill. And after like about a minute of writing furiously, she puts the quill back, rolls it up, grabs a little golden ribbon, ties it around, and then she hands it to you.
All right. I guess
This
I take it.
is the field report that is to be delivered to the court cleric. After she reads this, she will understand, and perhaps you can work something out with her, because she holds a higher authority than me. But whatever. Regardless, you have done your job, and we will make sure that you will get your payment. It should be delivered to the Glittering Bauble, I'd say tonight. No later.
Sounds to me. By the way, Kilvin, speaking of, because
Yes?
this ordeal was taken care of, you do remember about splint armor, correct?
Oh, yes, I remember. Splint armor. Yes, I will take care of that as well. Have that delivered with the payment. Yeah. Anyways,
forget
I think we're
something?
done here. At this point, I'd say you probably need to be led to the. Even though it's called Fiandor Castle, it's definitely not the castle. Regardless, I can lead you the way there, and once you show the royal guards that little paper, they will escort you directly to the court sorceress. After that, that's out of my own power. There's only so much I can do. Oh, by the way, he goes to Paxi, he pulls out a coin, and he flips it to him.
I catch
A
it.
black coin. On it is a symbol of a fist and a sun.
Fist and a sun.
You will
Assume
find
you'll
that
be
to be very
helpful.
helpful.
So now I have a fist and an arrow, and a fist and a sun, and a. Did I give the fist and the feather to Feather already?
Yep.
Okay.
For that little solution, which you still never used.
Well, we didn't need to. We're amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, we didn't fight anything.
Okay, we still have the solution, do we not?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, we never had to give it back because we teleported straight to the glittering bauble.
Kami has it.
So you could technically exchange it again.
I have a feeling
Yeah.
our dealings in the forest are not done yet.
Also, by the way,
Could be.
you hear Cray
Wait,
speak up.
I thought someone gave the solution to me because I was the only one who'd actually use it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think yeah.
Yeah.
Nakami, yeah.
I'd say that your assistance with us has been most valuable. However, I will say what you've done is most certainly enough. There is no obligation to assist on this matter further. Since I know you've already put yourselves in danger several times already.
While I am not one to shy away from fear, I do not wish to partake in that forest as much as I have.
Lady, if you saw the shit I saw, you'd be shitting your pants. Like twice a minute. Maybe 3.
Kind
You got
of
pants on, right?
uncomfortable with that comment. Just kind of ignores it. Just kind of
Alright.
maybe awkward chuckle.
Calvin will start walking out. All right, I'll lead you the way if you want a guide, of course. Otherwise, I mean, I'm more than happy to go back to the glittering bauble.
I would appreciate a guide. Thank you, Kelvin. And I look to Keeler and just kind of give a nod to him.
You didn't even need to make any rolls. How long does enhanceability last? A minute?
An hour.
I think an hour.
An hour?
Damn.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna say this. Guys, I'll just take you guys to the Wishdor City map. You guys will be making your way to the palace. Well, the castle. The Andor Castle. Right here.
The Andor.
It would be about a 20-minute walk to go around all navigate the streets and stuff. There's a lot of people here. A lot of guards. Kind of busy day. Despite the shit that's happening in the forest, everyone seems to be going on with their own business. But when you guys arrive to the castle, the Andor Castle,
We all got 12 gold, was it?
Not yet, but
not yet.
Oh.
You guys will be getting 12 gold each and 2 bottles from Miss Cray's collection. And also splint armor.
yeah.
But when you reach the Andor Castle... Also, you need to scroll down. Oh, shit.
Oh.
I forgot. The copy and paste feature does not work right. I still need to figure out why it doesn't do that.
I see guards and stuff.
Kill him! Swalbo, go!
Yeah, kill 'em.
What? I rage.
No, no.
I heard kill
You
him.
have become enemies of the
Copy.
state.
Hold on. I'm
We're about
almost
to
done.
commit federal crimes. Capital
My fa-
offenses.
My favorite. And one last copy and paste because I can't copy everything at once. There we go. So, as you kind of lead up to the
We're also missing
palace-
another person.
Hold on. It won't copy everything together. It's stupid.
It's so weird.
Where is he? There. That should be everyone.
Yep.
Oh.
Alright. I'm going to let Kelvin lead the way because
That's Final Fantasy 14.
Yes, it is. So, Calvin just walks up. Here's these guards. You know the other guards at the barracks are wearing like silvery armor, kind of plain. These guys are on full-on silver with gold and like red cloaks. These guys look, well, whatever it is.
Decked out?
Decked out is the best way to describe it.
No,
Their
pimped
armor looks more expensive than whatever amount of gold you guys have combined,
When
including
you
what you'll
say-
be earning.
Does it appear to be the same material as Athenia's new shield?
I mean, they're both silvery. But they're kind of just standing there, completely still, not moving. But then as Kelvin walks up immediately, they bring their swords to a cross. Kelvin's like, whoa, ho, ho, ho. Hold on there. He just goes, hey, Athenia, right?
what do you mean right? Excuse you. I remember your name.
I get the
Give him the
line
business.
Anyway, just the paper, please, or else we're never going to be getting past.
No, I handed him the paper, but not before I scold his ass.
He just takes it, shows the paper. Both of them just like look at the paper for a moment, and then just silently uncross their swords. And one of them just goes, "You may enter."
Swalbo. He knows.
Yes.
He knows we're not paying him to guide us around the city, right?
Yeah?
So, anyways, I'm not actually going to be going in, so they will need a guide to the court cleric. They kind of just look at him for a bit. The longer the guards stare at him, the more you see Calvin get more nervous, and he's like, please? One of them just slowly nods. Follow. Walks over to the giant pair of doors, pushes them open, and walks in. And Calvin's like, this is all yours now, and immediately starts walking away, or at least speed walking.
Oh, he must be really busy.
Yeah, I feel like he took half his day to just escort us around the town.
Well, yeah, that's probably why he's in a hurry. He has customers to deal with after spending all this time with us.
Yeah, what an odd barkeeper.
What a nice gentleman.
Were you just angry at him 2 seconds ago?
I guess I will fall.
Doesn't mean I can't acknowledge his stature.
Let's see, he starts this guard.
He may
walks in.
He may have Alzheimer's, but he is a nice gentleman nonetheless.
He's got
Also, when you guys are stepping
magical
in,
Alzheimer's.
I think they're quite the normal Alzheimer's.
I found the Final Fantasy secret door. It's over here. You just go behind the black. There's a treasure chest. I guarantee it.
I'm gonna go through, I guess, and follow him.
just so you know, this place is definitely not a castle. The better term to describe it is a palace. This place is very, not really fortified. It's shiny.
Arabic.
It's everything, lots of expensive decorations. You can see plaques and stuff showing. You can see portraits of looks like royal family members. You can see plaques that depict some sort of dragon. And not just any dragon, it looks almost serpentine.
Like a snake?
Kinda, yes. And you see this guard pushes open these pair of doors and he starts walking in.
Haha! I attack the darkness.
You can't darkness on green.
And he starts walking up the stairs.
Can I just get a quick glance at the room first before we...
Sure, go ahead.
Perception, that I'm terrible at. Can I persuade the room instead? I'm good at that.
This is so pretty good
17. Hey, not bad.
17? What exactly are you looking for?
Something to steal.
I mean, kind of. Okay, I'm just getting an idea of the kind of people that live here.
All right, so this kind of particular area here seems to be some location to entertain guests, perhaps. Because when you think of royalty, you might think giant castle, completely fortified. You know, but for some reason, this place feels more like a mansion. Like, these people are more of aristocrats more than actual royalty. Because, you know, this fancy decorations, furniture,
royalty,
look
what's the
expensive.
difference?
Well, I mean, okay, it seems like they're just plain nobility and not actual.
Is this frivolously? Is this just showing off?
Seems like it.
Okay.
Anyways, also, what's the button at the press to basically drag people to a certain location of the map?
Shift long click.
They're pricks. You might as well just steal
Whoop.
something.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
You
Jesus.
guys are
Okay,
entering
I
the
gotta
top
zoom
floor.
the fuck out. Okay, can you reveal something along
Reveal
those
your
areas?
secrets.
Jesus, I have.
So,
Oh my
Here's
God.
what happens. The
Oh
guard
Jesus.
walks in, and in here looks to be some sort of study. And let me reveal the entirety of it. Oh, that is a conceal. So, standing in the study, going through some books, looks to be an elf. Very silvery hair, a silverish dress, which looks like to be etchings of dragons, so a serpentine dragon specifically. And she doesn't seem to have noticed you. But as you guys walk up, the guard stops, clears her throat loudly. I bring you guests who provide an information from Captain Cray. And then he just walks back and vanishes. And she just stops looking at a particular book she's reading, turns to you guys,
I'm gonna flip her
looks
the
at all
coin.
of you.
First thing, just bling.
I feel
What
like
do
you
you do?
misspoke,
She
though.
so you flip her the coin. She catches it between two fingers, looks at it.
I'll say, he left in quite a hurry. What was that about?
She starts flipping the coin a little bit on her fingers, silently looking at it. And then you just see it slowly materialize, disappear in a flash of silver light. So, you must be the adventurers that have been providing those specimens. I was kind of curious on when I'd be meeting you. Didn't expect to be so soon. First, the report.
I'm guessing it's not on. I mean, the report being the physical thing that I was handed?
Yes.
Okay, I hand it to her.
When you grab it, she takes it a little quickly. Pretty much pulls the ribbon off, tosses it to the side, and starts unfurling it. She reads it for 10 seconds. Shakes her head slightly, rolls it up, and then it just bursts into silver light. Well, I'd say you've been witnessing quite a lot of interesting things. But first, why don't we do some formal introductions? Who are you?
Well, I happen to be Athenia. This here is Paxi,
Ma'am.
Swolbo, and Healer.
I see.
Oh, and then I guess in the back we have Kami and Aryu, but they're not here. Let's just assume I introduce them to. Yeah, let's just assume we're there with us.
Well, I am Sakala, court cleric. And, hold on, why is my paper not here? Here we go. Apparently closed on me when I wasn't paying attention. Here we go. Yes, here we go. Yeah, I am Sakala, court cleric and priestess of Pharsos. It is a
Pharsos?
pleasure.
Did you say?
Pharsos.
Yeah.
Yes, Pharsos.
Interesting. What is Pharsos?
Is that what
Is it
you're
something I
asking
need to
her?
ask?
Your name
Okay.
is Bartos?
You don't know? Do you want to roll religion or something?
Ooh, religion? Sure. I have a +2. Fuck.
You
The
do
way you
not
said that, it's like
recognize.
you have a
There
heart.
are
This is a
gods?
I thought religion would be something more along the lines of wisdom or charisma, not intelligence.
Yeah, so you don't recognize the name. If it's a god or goddess, this is the first time you've heard of them.
If I may ask, who is Pharsos?
Ah, I forget. You do not belong here. If I so may inform you, Pharsos is one of the many guardian dragons of Auseland. She is the one who helped found Shador.
Interesting.
Long story short, they protected us during the Great Arcane War from the mad spellcasters. And I am a priest who serves her will.
Interesting. Well, I appreciate the information.
Now, before we go into more other pleasantries, that token, why did you give it to me? I presume it's a favor you wish to claim. What sort of favor?
I'm going to grab, Aryu by the shoulder and just say, this one can't talk very well, says it's a curse.
That's it?
Does
that's
it
what
get
you
me
want?
more? I can ask for more.
No. That is enough for now. Then she just like walks up to Aryu, or more like strides towards him. She kind of stops, brushes her finger across him for a moment, then she kind of recoils. She starts rubbing her finger. I don't know what sort of curse that he is suffering from. There's nothing I have seen, and I seriously doubt that I can do anything, or at least bother doing anything. Regardless, shame to say this may be out of my power. You may have to look for a remnant that, well, prioritizes curse breaking.
So you say?
Then we still have our favor.
I don't know. The information I gave you is quite valuable.
You better get that coin back, Dane.
I'll look to the rest of the party. Does anybody else have any questions?
I will say, though, that we have struggled to gain this information ourselves and have nearly died on multiple accounts for it. And just for compensation, in a sense, we were told to come to you about any ordeals such as regarding the, I guess, diamonds for material components or rings.
Who told you this?
That would be
Cray.
Captain Cray.
Of course. Of course it's Cray. Oh, she likes to make my life oh so difficult. Perhaps I can provide some materials if that's what you're looking for. She kind of just stops, turns away, and focuses back on the bookshelf. I presume you're looking for diamonds, as in spell components? What sort of spell are you looking to cast?
I looked to healer, and just because I'm a paladin, I don't know this stuff yet.
Oh, well, I mean, I need some stuff. Like, I got some diamonds for Revivify, and then...
Oh, Revivify diamonds? Oh, you should have just asked that from the beginning, of course. I can give you perhaps one, or maybe two. Depends on how, well,
Well,
easy
if you can
the gods
see,
are willing to be.
there's quite a few of us. And, can I
Well, I
We're
mean,
very
we're
prone
only,
to dying.
We're only good to you alive.
After seeing the skills of my allies, I am ashamed to say we would need more, unfortunately. Can I roll persuasion, Mr. DM?
Fine, roll
You know,
persuasion.
if you people were more in the favor of the gods wouldn't require such material sacrifices to come back.
27. I'm one away from a natural 20. Natural 19.
like-
No.
You wish for more? I don't know. You know, here just Wonton speak up. Hey, I don't know about you, but she sounds like a bitch. She kind of just stops for a
Yeah,
moment.
call her a bitch.
Kind of like looks at you guys.
My catchphrase is catching up to me.
What exactly else are you looking for?
Well, I was, I need some, I was hoping to get a set of rings, honestly. A little selfish, but...
Aren't you getting diamonds? I think you're being a little greedy.
No, the diamonds aren't for me, I don't die. They're for the other people.
Kind of looks at the rest of you.
He's got a point.
That's a thing.
Actually, to be perfectly fair, he's got a very valid
What
point.
are the rings for?
Yes.
Well,
what are the
I was
rings
hoping to
for?
give it to my buddy Swolbo. And then we can be best friends.
Swolbo? Is that a name?
It's really
My
more of a, really more of a state of life.
Seems fitting, despite how brutish it may be. Very well.
Does she speak halfling? Is she versed in halfling naming conventions?
For all you know, she probably does it. If she did, she wouldn't bother speaking it. So,
Oh, so she's a racist now.
She's an elf, man. What do you expect?
Not just
Okay,
any
now
elf.
that's
she's
racist.
She's a high elf.
Okay, now that's racist too.
That's-
Why are we so racist?
Wow.
This is just back and forth racism from the
I don't
DM,
care
from the
what
elf,
drugs
from
she's
Bane,
doing.
from
She's just an elf
Paxton.
to me.
A high elf? I don't respect people who do drugs.
Okay, now we've gotten into puns along with 4 layers of racism. In 3 seconds flat. You want to see
My
me say the
muscles
N-word?
are all
Wanna see me
natural.
do it
I don't
again?
like it when people do steroids.
What? These muscles are all natural.
So, a few diamonds, and what sort of rings again? Please repeat.
Believe it's
Platinum.
platinum ring. They don't have to be
Plat-
magical, just bands of platinum.
Platinum.
But one of them does have to be huge, because I mean, look at his arms.
You want to... Huh.
Yeah, I
one
mean,
of
it's
them
not
has to be
halfling-sized hands, though.
Do you know how much platinum rings would cost?
About 50 gold apiece, probably.
Perhaps.
I mean,
But you do know
you need to
the
look
price.
The healer just...
I did see some platinum napkin holders downstairs I could just have. They're probably worth 50 gold apiece, right?
You would wish to steal from the royal family.
No, I'd ask you to give them to me, and then you wouldn't have to go find some rings. I could just use them.
I deeply apologize for my... Oh.
We will be saved by platinum napkin holders.
Are you sure you won't mind
I'm sure what
staying?
these
I
rings
know the
are
royal
for.
family does need a jester.
Yeah, you can have them.
What?
I-
No, I need him to keep me
used
alive.
I used Thaumaturgy to make Athena let out a squeaker of a fart.
Wanton goes, "Hey, Athenia, I don't know about you, but I don't think that's you, but at the same time, that is... Damn." She just, like, looks at Athenia, then kind of looks back at Healer. Alright, now that humor is not my taste. Never mind. And it seems that you're not actually worth having around.
Ah, shit.
Can I still get the rings, though?
Not the napkin holders. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you.
Anything else? Or is that little gnome is the only one who's going to be making requests?
I did request.
I saw her kind of do like a palm reading on RU, I guess. Can I request the same?
You want to request the same?
Yeah, I'm not. I'll just like whatever you did to him. Can you check me out too?
Sure, I
If
can.
you want to be checked
check
out, you
you
could have just
out.
used the mirror.
She walks over to you once again. The moment she touches your skin, she pulls away, then takes a step back. Oh, I don't know what it is that you've done, but I can tell that whatever it is, you brought that upon yourself.
So that's a no on the help.
I do not want to anger whatever it is that's following you.
May I have my coin back? Or can we just exchange it for the platinum rings and diamonds?
I think the platinum rings and diamonds are more than generous. Then again, I'm starting to feel quite disappointed in Kelvin. He seems to be handing out those tokens like they're candy.
I meant to ask about that as well. I have a good idea of what the symbolism is behind the coins, but I was wondering what the coins are made out of if I wanted to make some of my own. Not with your symbols, of course. My own.
It would be impossible. It is only done with his sword, well, Splinter, if you're unfamiliar with it.
I've met him, and I will emphasize the
Oh.
word met.
So you've spoken with, well,
There's
Splinter.
a budding counterfeiter, oh no.
Well,
Uh,
that changes a couple of things.
I will
Just
summon
long
Morning
story short.
and kind of tap Athenia's shield at the same time. It's like, we have our own companions of the same ilk.
Just let you know, when you touch, Athena's shield,
I did it
you
on
immediately feel
purpose.
you immediately
Does it
feel
bite
your
him?
hand like recoil a little bit as if it got forced back. You kind of hear like you just
I'm
hear
not sure
Morning
if it's
go,
Armenia doing it or the shield.
"Hey, don't do that to me, all right?
Hmm.
No,
Like,
no, don't touch
I don't
me,
want you to
Jack.
touch my blade against that filth."
Filth.
And you just hear Wanda go, hey, Athenia, next time he does that, can you slap him for me? Because I don't want that bitch near me, you got it?
What did you two do to each other?
I don't know, she was kind of angry last time we met, kind of got rubbed off the wrong way or something, I don't know.
That doesn't warrant that kind of language.
I see her
Shit.
muttering to herself, and I'm just like, we're gonna have a talk.
No, you see that you guys looking at each other and the way their weapons are interacting, she... So you have... sentient remnant?
Wonton
Yes.
here is a remnant. I do not believe I would classify Miss Morning as such.
Yeah, Miss Morning says, I am not like one of those old, dusty pieces of gear. She just slowly nods. Well, and here I thought you were simply just a group of lucky adventurers. Well, perhaps you're even luckier than I thought. But, to answer your question, those tokens, you won't be able to make them, even if you try. They are essentially a pact made physical by Wellsplitter. Exchanging a token is a way exchanging a favor, or essentially a favor. Of course, we can't just create them willy-nilly. Since when Wellsplitter is deemed an action to basically owe a favor, it creates those tokens. Sadly, it appears that some of my debts towards Calvin has not been fully absolved, though he seems to keep a surplus just to irritate me. Throwing him around to random people that he seems to like, and then just seems to just make my day ever so more miserable.
Actions that beget a favor. Would saving one's life be an action that would beget a favor?
Perhaps. But then again, such terms have to be made by Wellsplitter. Since Wellsplitter is, in a way, a maker of contracts in the form of a weapon.
Damn, so his sword is a lawyer.
Basically.
Basically.
Free lawyer? Where?
Regardless,
I feel like if you wanted to get Kelvin back, you could give us one of your coins, and then he would owe us a favor.
Takes the pen is mightier than a sword to a different level.
if I may inquire, do you have any other of those tokens on you?
I do not.
None at all?
Nope.
She kind of just cocks, like raises an eyebrow.
Hold
You
on.
do realize they're not going to get through me, right?
Yeah, didn't you have one of those?
Shit!
Yeah, she completely saw right through you.
Wait. I got this. Oh yeah, didn't you have that one coin that had an arrow on it?
I don't say shit.
Arrow?
Yeah, it's an arrow.
I'm surprised he gave you the last one of Dressured. What do you know?
Dreshed. Okay, how do you spell it?
Dresherd.
Dressured.
Dressured.
I knew a Fran from Dressured.
Bip.
I'd say you hit the jackpot there.
Just like my sister. Hey, he's not here.
You
Someone's
know-
got to do
Someone's
it.
got to say it.
It's like I can hear his.
Do you have any others?
No.
I don't think he does. No. Honesty is important,
shit.
Paxi.
You cannot hide secrets from me, little boy.
But
I
I
have-
can try.
After dealing with Kelvin so much, as well as Dressured, I have learned to be quite skilled at spotting lies.
Dressured a... What is Dressured? Who is Dressured, if I may ask?
Dressured, he was also a member of our party. An old party, which I'm quite glad is disbanded because traveling does not do well for my skin. Regardless, Dressured, he was our silent archer? Or is that what they refer to him as? Or perhaps silent ranger?
Write that down, write that down.
Regardless, yes, he was part of our group. What was that stupid name again? Ah, yes, the Black Token Society.
Are you fucking kidding me? I say out loud. No, just kidding.
Yes.
We're
It
called
is
Auseland
quite
Church.
a plain name that I had no say in his decision.
We're known as the Auseland Church.
Nope, nope, nope. We did
I
not
don't know
decide
about
on that.
one.
Regardless, it is quite a stupid name. And I'm quite glad that it's done. Or at least for now.
I thought we agreed on that name.
Can we even discuss it? Keeler? I don't think we have, and I don't know if I agree to being a team quite yet.
Oh, so you're all new together.
I look at Athena and her shield. Yeah, I agree with that.
We're fresh off the boat.
It's true.
Seeing that you don't belong here, I presume that's a little too literal. Alright. Well,
Don't belong.
I'll get you your
It's racism.
diamonds and your platinum bands. Anything else?
Not sh-
Does the name Ronnie bring a bell to you?
No.
Insight check.
Roll insight.
Shit. 14.
Funny good.
Come on.
Funny enough, you barely seem to think that she's hiding something. But her poker face is almost too good, but you managed to get a sign that she says no.
Do I get the idea she would even remember someone as Ronnie?
Probably, most likely.
Oh. Okay.
Those two were together.
What? Ronnie the half-orc with high elf.
Half-orc?
Half orc, half.
He's a
Why,
dwarf.
He's a dwarf.
Ronnie's a dwarf? Why did I think he was a
Yes.
half-orc? Oh no.
You know
He
how
ain't green.
Well,
you know how
He's
you know
dwarf.
he's like the counter is as tall as him, or at least he's as tall as a counter.
That's a mighty fucking tall counter if he's a half orc.
I mean, he's a short half-orc, I guess. I don't know.
well, now you know.
You know what?
A
This
dwarf,
is
a
par for the
dwarf,
course.
a
I have...
dork.
That's the other half of the half orc. Is a
Wait,
dwarf.
You were
A
drinking
dwarf-
quite a lot then.
Wait, a dwarf orc, a dork.
Yes.
But no, he's a dwarf.
Those two are fucking though. You knew it.
Do you say that out loud?
No, of course not. This is out of character.
You hear Wonton say, "Hey, I bet you 5 gold pieces that they, did a little shit together."
The horizontal mambo? The beast with 2 backs? What are we talking about?
Mm,
5 gold's a bit. I whispered back to him. 5 gold's a bit much.
Hey,
A deal.
you do realize I don't actually have the gold, right?
that helps.
So in other words,
We got
if
scammed.
you win, or at least if I win, you give me 5 gold, and if you win, you don't get shit because I don't got the money.
Oh, you'll be in debt to me for the rest of your life.
Hey, that's not fair. They didn't agree to that terms.
So, I will... Alright. I don't like this lady. But...
Oh, you weren't. Oh, what gave it away? The casual racism, the high and mighty attitude, the more
Yeah, I can see why
the less than
Feather of the
casual
Wing doesn't
racism.
like this lady.
What exactly? Okay. What exactly brought together the Black Coin, Black Symbol Society,
Black token.
Black Token Society?
Black
none of
Coin Society, Black Symbol Society, it's all the same.
you don't seem to be their type. Them being, Miss Cray, Miss Feather, and Miss. What?
When he said Miss
Mr.
Feather, she actually scowls when he said Miss Feather.
Exactly what drew you all together to work together, or should I ask what split you apart?
What drew us together? Circumstances beyond our control. Perhaps a shared interest, a mutual goal. However, us moving apart, that was my idea. We've been adventuring for quite a long time, and I've honestly found it quite droll. I do have to provide my services, after all, to both the royal family and to Farsos.
Now, I imagine your service to the kingdom would have been great as a party. Why is it that you here seem to have gotten the best out of that situation? A cushy job here in the palace versus tavern owner versus forest druid.
Hobo? Yeah,
I did not say Tobo.
I did, but not in character.
You seem to have gotten the upper hand on this deal.
Well, let's just say that it's due to circumstances of one's origins, perhaps. Or maybe simply the desires. Kelvin, he always wanted to, run a bar. Tavern is perhaps a more appropriate word. Feather. Well, when born in the dirt, she often goes back to the dirt.
Casual racism.
I don't think this is.
That's
I don't
It's
know
not
for
racism, that's just
casual.
fucked up.
Cray. Well,
She's
as
getting
a
more
pilot,
racist.
she
over
did
time.
find quite the interest in upholding the law. So it was only natural for her to go to the gods.
So they were given what they asked for.
In a way.
One's a paladin. One's a... I don't even know what...
And your Silent Ranger friend?
Opt to do things that he likes to do. Upholding his own sort of justice.
Bruh, he's fucking Robin Hood?
If you want to find him, you probably have to go a little ways out into the forest. Well, not exactly in the forest.
The corrupted part?
No. You just need to walk around a long ways.
You gotta go to Nottingham, boys.
Something tells me a man of his skills isn't found if he doesn't want to be.
But that is only them. As for the others, well, sadly, my knowledge on them somewhat fell short.
There's more than just those 4 people?
Why, of course. We didn't just start off as 5. We used to have several more. But they decided to leave early for their own reasons, and then it came to us 5 who decided to retire.
Would you recall what their symbols would be?
They do not have symbols, simply because they were not part of Wellsplitter's contract. Well, actually there is one. His symbol is, well, the best way to describe it is a mask. Sadly, Calvin has already given away the last token for him, so you'd be lucky to even, well, get a favor from him. But then again, if Calvin did have a token, I seriously doubt he would give it to you, since that would be the most important favor of all.
Hmm.
What typically these favors? What is typically asked of them? Like what would be considered too much or too little?
That's the funny thing. There isn't such thing as too much or too little.
Well, shit. I feel like I wasted a token.
Exactly. And you won't have any more of those to obtain, because I believe that was the last token from me. So, now, if that's it, you may move along. May Farsos look over you. And I mean, look over.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, nope. Don't want to talk to her anymore.
If you're staying at the Glittering Bauble, I will have someone deliver them those diamonds and rings. Otherwise, you may go. Because I'm quite sure that neither of us want to waste each other's time anymore.
One hell of a delivery service.
Alrighty, I guess we head back to the Glittering Bauble. Can I do a perception check around the room to see if I see any books that look interesting?
Sure, go ahead.
Have I gotten like an eye for what remnants look like yet? Do they like give off any sort of... Wait a minute. Hold on, spells. Damn it. No, okay.
What,
just-
you want to detect magic?
Yes. But I don't have it. 8 balls.
Yeah, if you're looking for remnants here,
Just anything that looks
Yeah,
not in
I mean-
the... I don't know.
there's a lot of books here. Some of it probably has some history on the place or the land, but otherwise, nothing really catches your eye. And even then, you seriously doubt she would let you take anything here either.
Well,
Anyways.
the other's descriptions of you was apt, if I do say. Have a good night.
Yes. Oh, shoot. Go.
Shoo! I've been shooed.
So as you guys go down, also, you guys actually technically you should have gone from up here. Either way, as you guys go down the stairs back to here, as you guys go through the hall, you notice that there are 2 people in the main entrance that you did not see initially.
Yeah.
Cool
Oh my
beans.
god, I gotta move my character. Oh wow, what a surprise. Who are they?
Hey, it's you guys.
First of all, fucking Christ.
First
So-
of all, fucking crap.
So anyways, so the first one you see is, well, I mean, a lady. She looks pretty young, maybe like no older than 20, I guess. Bright red hair, wearing a silvery armor. And then beside her is a much older looking dude. Kind of brown hair that has some like faint grays in there. Pretty big, wearing armor, very similar to the other royal guards.
Looks like Orlando
Silver-
Bloom.
Perhaps. Yeah,
Swole
kinda
bloom.
is. Yeah, but he's pretty big. He's like six, like I don't know. He's like 6.6. I don't know. He's pretty tall for a guy. Well, I mean, compared to everyone else, I guess.
Sure.
But I mean, some of these people are not that tall. But anyway, so you can see they're just both talking to each other. They haven't noticed you yet. But as you do get a little close, you notice the guy stops and looks at you. He's just staring you guys down. And you can see his hand slowly move to his sword.
How may we help you?
At that point, that's when the lady turns to you like, "Oh, hold on."
We're just on our way out here.
You see, he put his hand on his sword.
Yeah, he's putting his hand on his sword, but then you see her. She raises his hand.
I want to ask him, do you prepare to draw your weapon every time you see another human being?
The Fozland?
No, they're
It's
just
okay.
particularly racist.
Oh, that makes sense.
So,
Must
I
be friends
presume
with
that
the
you
player.
are guests? Seeing that you got past cigars with no issue, I presume that you are here on a important errand?
I'm here to talk with the court cleric.
Here on a diplomatic mission to Alderaan.
So when you say that, she like pauses. Oh, oh, you're talking with Sakala? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, where are my manners?
Talking, more of dealing with.
Ahem, Paxi. Anyways,
Yeah, it's fine. I am Priscilla, first princess, and she gives you a bow.
Shit.
And then you can see that this guy right here, which you refer to as Auseland, he's currently staring daggers at you. Paxi.
I am good looking.
No, you just
Do,
said
do
out
I
loud?
do I notice he's like just Auseland?
Fozland.
Auseland.
Auseland?
Fozland? Fozland?
Well, it's
I thought it was
yeah,
Fozland.
no, it's Auseland.
The
So
father.
Faslan.
The Foz?
I'll say-
Fog?
Auseland, if you keep staring like that, I'm gonna have to charge you for the pleasure.
You can
Maybe
see
shake
his
my
grip
head.
tights on his sword, and she goes, Auseland, you're dismissed. And he kind of just looks at her, then looks at you, Paxi. And he just starts walking out.
Something tells me we're gonna have a boss fight with him someday.
Everybody's racist.
Now she goes,
I look at her and go,
We-
was it the horns? It was the horns, wasn't it?
no, he just seems, he's just quite overprotective. They put it in a simple term. But regardless, what has brought you all here? Well, you did see to speak with Sakala, or court cleric.
Oh, one we had to report. Had a report for her in regards to the forest, as well as a request of sorts, or rather, a form of compensation for us going into the forest.
Oh, you went to Hartford Forest. Oh, I now remember. I've seen the reports. You've been doing some quite excellent work in your new adventures, correct?
Yes, we are. I appreciate the compliment.
Mhm. Oh, no need. If anything, I know talent when I see it, and even though my experience out there is quite limited due to the fact, well, I'm a princess, and apparently they don't like the idea of me going out there getting my hands dirty, I digress. But I've heard the situation in Heartwood has been getting worse, even though my father does not seem very inclined to do anything about it.
Damn Republicans.
Regardless, his heart is in the right place. He simply does not want to see any more lives pointlessly lost. But I feel that even though nothing's happening now, if it's left to fester, it could turn into an even worse situation.
Yes, I understand. Well,
I won't hold you
Well,
anymore.
I
If she like
appreciate
takes a step back.
I
You
kind
are-
of give sort of bow.
Oh, please, no. Not with me. I have no interest in such things. The only time out you'll need to bow is before a duel. If you understand what I mean. But anyways, you're free to go. Unless, of course, there's any other things you wish to inquire about. Or something you're looking for.
No, not that I know of.
Nothing I can think of.
Alright. Well, you have House Viandor's blessings, so I wish you luck on your adventures.
What was her name
And-
again?
Priscilla.
Priscilla?
Also, Priscilla.
Prince. Jeez.
Let me.
Priscilla.
She's also in her last name, Viandor, which is the royal family. She's the first princess.
first, princess. You're a princess and your name is Priscilla? Isn't that a bit on the nose?
You actually say that?
No.
Alright.
I like my head on my shoulders, thank you. What was her beefcake? What was his name?
Auseland, which I'll type in campaign 1.
Auseland. Okay.
Well, I'm assuming if there's nothing else you guys want to return to the glittering bauble.
I want to find a blacksmith.
Oh.
I also need, blacksmith, same.
I want to go shopping. Do we want to go get our money first?
Oh yeah, how is that supposed to be delivered?
To the glittering bauble.
Okay.
Yeah, but don't let that barkeep keep us. He's bossy. We should get our money. We should go shopping.
So, alright, so where do you guys want to go?
I want to head to a blacksmith.
So before you go to the glittering bauble, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll bring you guys to which store city map.
By the way, guess where splint armor would be?
Isn't it being
Glittering
delivered at
bauble.
the glittering
Being
bauble?
delivered to the glittering bauble.
Wait, is it?
Yep.
Oh, never mind. Well,
We
okay,
have
I'll just go
nothing
to the
in
blacksmith with them.
They have nothing in stock. They have to deliver it all later.
Bitches. How dare they?
It's not even like economical to have it delivered. It's kind of heavy.
So I'm gonna go to the blacksmith, and I'm just going to bring out one of the black coin with the fist and the arrow, and I'm just gonna say I want you to make something like this out of wrought iron. And I want on one side, and I'm gonna point to my horns. So I want horns like these.
So you're looking for a blacksmith.
Yeah.
First roll perception.
Oh shit.
I mean, you're very unfamiliar with this place.
I'm very bad at perception. See?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this right now. You'd be wandering around for 30 minutes with no idea where to go.
Can I just
Try and listen
ask
for the
someone?
clank.
Can I
When
swallow my
you-
pride?
After
I'll be first,
I'd say the 20-minute mark is when you finally approach someone, and someone goes, "Oh yeah, just go back the way you came. To take a left, then a right, then go forward a little bit, then a left, and one more left, and then you'll get there.
I just keep fucking getting lost.
And then you get lost for 10 more minutes, and then you finally stumbled upon a little hole-in-the-wall-ass place. It doesn't look really grand, but it seems like it gets the stuff done. And you would find it around this area.
Cool.
And that's when you would show up. You can see a half-orc dude.
Aha, I knew they were
Almost
here
8
somewhere.
feet tall. He's a real tall guy, built like a
Isn't
truck.
Elbrun a half-orc?
Hey!
Nope, Calverin's a human. But yeah, he's just currently hammering away at a huge
The
sword.
half orc was the captain of the ship.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I knew there was a half-orc somewhere.
So
Yeah,
he's
I
just
was-
hammering
I was like,
away. He got a
I
pair
don't
of
know. I
goggles
can't
on his
tell. I can't
eyes.
see anyone's face
A little
from
side
down
too
here.
small.
I'll say, excuse me.
He just stops hammering. He just looks at you.
Are you familiar with the glittering bauble uptown? Do you know of a gentleman there named Ronnie? The cook. Ronnie did me a solid favor, and I owe him. And I'll bring out a coin, the fist and the arrow, and I say, his boss
He
and his.
reaches over, just grabs it from you.
Nope. I'm not giving him the coin.
You want to make a roll?
Oh, shit. Is he taking it to inspect it, or is he taking it as
looks
payment?
like it. He's looking like he's taking it to inspect it.
Okay, yeah, he can look at it.
Yeah, he just like grabs it from you. His hand is big enough to completely cover your own.
Sure.
In fact, you can probably just grab your whole head and
Sure.
rather easily.
I
So
say
just grabs it.
I'm looking for
looks at
something
it.
similar, but on one side, hey, here, look, here, and I'll point to the horns. One side of the coin, horns, and the other side. Does he have like a pot somewhere, like a cooking pot somewhere in the shop?
Maybe not within view.
Okay, there's the horns on one side, cooking pot on the other. Get it?
You know I can understand you, right?
Okay.
Don't need to talk to me like I don't speak common.
Well, you weren't. You know what? I apologize, and I'll take a silver, and I'll give it to him. Will this cover my rudeness as well as the job?
Just grabs the silver, throws the coin back at you like pretty hard.
Shit.
And then he just walks over, like he just takes a sword that's still burning hot and just walks into the shop. He just
2 hours.
Thank you.
Before you go back there, how much would it cost for... Do you sell bows and arrows?
I'll pick him
I
up
don't
off
think
the
that.
floor so he can see him.
now you gotta like look down. You're
No,
not
no,
even.
he's just
You
riding around in like the front.
you don't even reach this guy's shins. He's just like looking down at you.
Well, Cammy's not very tall either. Anyway,
Don't do that.
do you sell bows and arrows?
No.
Who would around here?
He just points across the street at a Fletcher shop.
And is there a tailor as well?
And he just points with his thumb all the way down the street.
I make metal weapons. Nothing else. You want arrowheads? I can make. Otherwise, find people who specialize in that.
Well, I'd like to go to the Fletchers after we're done here.
He kind of looks at everyone else.
My work here is done.
So interesting.
I'll just
looks
follow them around and hopefully we stay in relative same area for 2 hours.
And he just turns and starts walking. Alright, so I guess healer, you're going to the Fletcher shop.
Yeah, I just want to inquire, what does the shop owner look like? So,
Alright, when you arrive, you can see there's a halfling. She's currently seems to be stringing a longbow that's a little bit bigger than her, but she seems to be doing quite well. She's currently like sitting on a table, kind of just with various arrows and things scattered around her. You can see on the display there's a lot of bows. There's short bows, there's shorter bows, there's long bows, and then longer bows. You can see all sorts of arrows. Some of them, just your standard arrows. Then, some that seem to be silver tipped. I even noticed like 1 or 2 that are gold tipped. And she's kind of like busy focusing on the bow. She hasn't realized you guys entered yet.
Oh, excuse me, miss.
She kind of stops, looks around, then looks down. Oh, visitors! Hey, how can I help you?
You would not believe what I just saw walking down the street. There was a man followed by skeletons. Is that normal?
Is that supposed to... I'm sorry?
A man. He had skeletons following him. Is that unusual for these parts? Is that something that would raise alarm?
Can I help you?
Well, you could answer my question.
No.
I'm sorry, but I'm not looking to entertain. Are you buying something or are you not?
Well, I'm gonna inquire about some bows.
Oh, okay. Now you're talking my language. What is it you want? I think I might have to make something a little smaller because I think everything I have is a little too big for you.
Oh, no, they're not for me. They're for, a friend. I just need normal-sized bows, but I'm just inquiring as to the cost right now.
Oh,
I'm having
well,
some gold delivered by your wonderful delivery system later.
that depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for something a little plain, quite cheap, quite cost effective. But if you're looking for something a little fancy, well, you have to have the coin to pay for it, you know. So, what are you looking for? Something fancy?
No, simple is better.
Simple. So simple and not plain.
Yes.
Alright, short bow or long bow?
Probably a short bow.
Short bow, Well, I'm
Very
going to tell you
short.
right now, the average short bow costs 25 gold. However, by my rates, I'd say mine are the best around. Paying on the short bow, 15 gold. But actually, you want something simple. Or plain. No. If it's plain, you can go for 10 gold. If you want something simple, 13. Plus 10 free complimentary arrows.
Alright, well, just be careful, because there are skeletons around. And then,
I'm sure
I'd like
there
to
are.
go, I'd like to go
Just
to
like the ones in
tailor.
my closet.
What
Well,
the?
I did see them, so is that normal around here?
Alright. Maybe not do jokes around you.
Hmm, you know what?
Anyways.
Well,
So,
you know what?
what do you-
I'm gonna
so you
rest
want-
anyways.
I need to go to the tailors, and I need to find some NPC who will actually answer
What, does
my
she have to
question.
make a save?
No, not her.
Him.
Him.
Make a charisma save.
Me?
Yeah.
I honestly think Healer Gnome is trying to lie to this person. Like he's attempting to accomplish something here.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
She
no,
was like-
Here,
I know exactly what he's trying to accomplish.
I rolled a 13, but I get advantage 14.
Nope.
Nope.
You failed.
You are now completely compelled to tell the truth, only the truth, and nothing but the truth.
Well, I'm not compelled to tell the truth.
You-
I,
You are
compelled to
required
not
to tell the
lie.
truth.
So
Yeah,
if
you're
you
required
can't
to
tell,
not lie.
so yes. So if you don't want to tell the truth, you just don't speak.
So what is this about skeletons, you say, healer?
She's kind of just like, looked at him,
I
then at you.
told her that I saw skeletons, and I was wondering if she thought that was normal.
Did you see skeletons?
Have I seen skeletons before?
Have you seen skeletons just now?
So, are you buying anything or not? Because if not, please get out of my shop.
No, I need to go to the tailors.
Are you not?
I
Okay.
apologize for him. Let me see how long this lasts, just for you.
You know,
Alright.
After our
Oh,
last
10 minutes! Oh.
After our last campaign, I feel like you guys should understand exactly what he's doing.
I don't
I don't
know.
know what he did.
So, are you guys leaving the shop? Or are you?
It doesn't matter. I'm just following Wheeler.
Yeah, I need to go to the tailors, but Zone of Truth
Alright.
is done because it's only.
No, it's not.
So as you
Wait,
guys are
is
leaving,
it?
you just hear
Oh,
her.
it is a
Yeah,
choice.
it's a
Right,
zone.
Right.
It's
It is a zone. You're right. Whatever. I can always cast it again.
Okay.
So as you guys are leaving, you just hear her. So it goes, "See you later. Please don't come back."
But
Well,
Will
what if
do.
I need some bows?
You're just like, are you buying something or not?
We'll come back if I need something. All right, I would like to go to the tailors.
All right. So
I will ask the exact same question in the exact same way.
So as you show up at the tailor, you can see, like, there's no one at there at the moment. You can see, like, a curtain on one side, and you can hear some noise, maybe, like, snipping or whatnot. But you can see various clothes, like dresses and suits. This place might be a little too fancy for your taste, maybe, but
Sounds like it. Have I passed any city guards?
yes.
All right, I would go up to a city guard and I will tug on his cape, or
They don't have capes. They're just armor.
I'll hit his armor with a. Well, I'll just knock on his armor.
I'll
Ding,
stab
ding,
him.
ding, ding. And I'll say, Mr. Guard, I saw a man with some skeletons walking around
Comes-
behind them, over there behind the corner. Is that illegal around here?
You just start like,
And I will see how he reacts. No, they're just back in that alley. I don't know if that's like a bad thing though. I don't want to.
Am I? He just goes over to his buddy. Hey, did you just hear a voice? And he just goes, shrugs, like, I don't know.
I'll use taumaturgy to make it like boom inside of his helmet.
In his
The
helmet.
exact same thing.
Fucking, what do you say? Or you just make a booming noise?
I'll say down here.
What do you do? He literally hops pretty high in the air, then he lands on the ground with a loud clang and a rattle, and he just like takes his helmet and throws it out on the ground. And it's just like,
Oh, you're jumpy. I'm sorry. Anyway, I saw these men back around the corner, and they had skeletons.
why is there a tiny... And he just starts walking off. The other guy just like looks at him, and then looks at him. Oh, hello, sir. How can I help you?
Well, it's an emergency. I saw a man with skeletons back in that alley. Is that
Did
a
you-
bad thing around here? Or is it
Hold on to just a minute, sir. And he just starts walking off towards that alley. He doesn't even question.
Well, his partner's still there, right?
His partner's currently walking away, muttering to himself.
No. Well, I'll wait till he comes back, and then I'll ask him if he found
Like-
the men.
He starts walking back towards you. I did not see any skeletons in there.
Oh, you must have just missed them. Is that illegal around here, or
Necromancy.
things?
I am not exactly, well, if you're talking about necromancy, then yes. Here in Shador, it is very much illegal and can be punished by death. So if you do see such an individual, please report it to us immediately.
I feel like he just did that.
Even though he didn't see anything. Is there anything else I can help you, sir? Because otherwise I need
Yeah,
to
where's
resume my
the,
duties.
Oh, I need to go to the tailor's first. That tailor looked pretty expensive. I'm just looking for some basic cloaks.
Oh,
You know, or anywhere where I could
then
find
just
them.
go talk to him. Because he keeps his most expensive stuff on display, but he works with all sorts of He gives me my casual wear, honestly, whenever I'm off work. I highly recommend him. Tell him Phil said hi.
Okay.
Phil said hi.
Phil, the
Yes.
guard, said hi to the tailor.
When will he be open?
Right now. If you don't see him there, he's probably just off making his next masterpiece.
Oh, okay.
The hell?
Between you and me,
Is Phil a
not
paid
even-
actor?
not even the Viandor family wears his stuff. A little too much. That's why you gotta make expressively clear that you don't want all the frills and whatnot. He's a little too over enthusiastic with his work, if you know what I mean. Anyways, yeah, just go along. I gotta resume my duties. If you have any more questions or if you see any more people with skeletons, just go ahead and inform us.
Yeah, skeletons are bad, but zombies are probably fine, right?
All necromancy is illegal. On a roll
Uh-oh.
insight.
Uh-oh.
He kind of like stares at you for a bit and shakes his head. You better hurry and catch him, otherwise he's going to be too focused on this next piece of work.
Yeah. I'll definitely go see the tailor.
And so you go back. When you return to the story, you know there's still no one there. You can hear the sounds of snipping behind the curtain.
I'll use taumaturgy to make a doorbell sound.
When you do, you hear a grunting noise followed by something clattering on the ground and then swearing. And then you see the curtains part and you see this guy, like grayish skin, completely bald head. You know, his blue markings on him. He's like,
Go wild.
I do not think I installed it. Is anyone there? Hello? Hello?
Oh, down here.
Oh! Oh,
Okay.
And he
Jump,
just
you can
steps
barely
out
see that
and he
hat.
just gets real tall. This guy's like 9 feet tall and he's huge. These guys are like looking down at you.
Oh, hello there. How can I help you?
Well, I have some friends coming to town, and they're monks. But they're gonna be so dirty from the trip that I was hoping to surprise them with some new monk stuff. And I just want some robes, and it's very important to their religion that you can't see their face, or their hands, or their feet. The simpler the better, and the cheaper.
I don't know, but I think I might be a little overqualified for that. But regardless, I am honored to know that you are looking for me to make such pieces. So,
Yeah, Phil said you
any
were
color
the best.
preferences, any fabric requests.
Phil said you were the best. Well, so part of their religion.
Oh, Phil! Ha ha! And he just slaps his knee. Oh, I love that man. Great drinking buddy. But regardless, so you want robes that cover the face
Yeah.
and the hands. All right.
And the feet.
Making
It's very important to
and
the
the
religion.
feet.
And they're thrifty. They're very thrifty, and they don't.
I'm
they're not-
assuming you're not looking for a single piece clothing, because I don't imagine that being quite comfortable and rather difficult to put on. I can make robes with a hood that conceals properly, as well as gloves and booties, I guess.
Well, they're extraordinarily ugly. So the point is, you just gotta hide them from people.
Oh, I give my condolences. All right. So, what color preferences do you request, or do you want me to simply use my own flavor?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna go like that route, I mean, what's the cheapest color? And can I get like three?
For
can I get-
monks? Oh, no. Do not worry about the cheapest. I will charge you the same price for all.
Yeah, I just want maybe like blue with 3 stripes on the side.
Stripes? Simple enough. And what about the fabric? Looking for cotton? Silk? Wool?
No, make them uncomfortable. They don't care.
Uncomfortable? Sorry, but I can't in good conscience do that. I gotta make all of my clothes as comfortable as possible. Like you're wearing a blanket in a way. I guarantee
this
that
guy.
all of my clothing will feel like you're being hugged by your mother. As if she was living, of course. Perhaps your father, or maybe a parental figure.
How much
Understand what I mean.
for a pair of these?
A pair?
Yes.
Depends. What are the... Do you know the dimensions? Sizes?
Not yet. But just give me a roundabout for the pair.
I need to know what size of clothes I need to make. I don't know if you want something for a giant person or for a little...
No, they're gonna
person.
be normal size.
I think tells me they're gonna be very skinny.
Average,
though.
average.
Yeah, they're all skin and bones.
Oh,
What
Don't
about
know
the skin
what
part?
you're going after. Oh, okay.
very well.
Oh god.
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
Do you now understand why he was asking if it would be
Yes.
weird to see skeletons walking down the street?
Yes.
So, this is what I
That's
think.
what's wrong.
I'd say for monks, I'm willing to go for 1 silver for both. It is, I'd say, quite a deal. And it's
And how long will it take you to make them?
depends. For me, a few hours. I'm quite fast on my work. Especially since what you described is very simple, which makes it even faster. Normally I would say a day, but I can whip something up quite fast and desirable.
Can I use your town's great delivery system to send you a message if I need to have them made?
Delivery system? I'm afraid we do not do delivery.
Everybody delivers around here.
We're staying at the Glittering Bauble.
At this point, if there's a delivery system, I need to go talk with them because it is quite a pain to be going out in the rain and the snow.
There's snow here?
Okay, well, I'll get back to you. Hey, out of a curiosity kind of thing, is there a butcher nearby?
A butcher? Depends on what you're looking for.
I'm looking for garbage. I mean, I'm looking for a butcher.
as you're looking for a butcher and not the morgue.
I didn't ask for a cemetery.
Just, I don't know which way you
You
came,
guys
but just
and your
come
necklace.
there a few houses. You will find one. Trust me, if you're looking for meat, she has the best selection you can have. Trust me, try that out. It is
Okay.
to die for.
Well, this is the last thing I want to do, DM, is I want to go to the butcher if nobody else has
Alright.
anything to talk to Taylor about.
Oh, sir, your pay.
My pay.
You gotta pay him.
Oh, and
I
I'll
can't
just...
get started until I have the pay, you know.
Yeah, but you don't know what size. I tell you what, I will pay you ahead of time.
Then I cannot get.
I need
Please,
4.
I beg my
Oh.
apologies, but I cannot get started unless I'm guaranteed payment.
No, I'll pay you. That's fine. I need 4 total.
4? I thought it was 2.
You never know. But they need changes of
Or
clothing.
they
as
show
well.
up.
Yeah, they need changes of clothing as well. So I will. You said a silver apiece.
Silver for 2. If you do 4, then it'd be 2 silver. I need to
Oh.
at least, at least make something out of the cost of materials.
Yes, of course. I'll actually pass him 3 silver. Tell him thank you for his kindness.
Oh.
And I will.
Thank you, sir, for giving me the business.
I will send you a message when I have decided on their sizes.
And he just goes, walks back behind the curtain. You can hear rattling noises. Sounds like he was trying to set up a chair that he knocked over the initial sound that he made. So I'm assuming you're going to be going to the butcher now?
If nobody needs a tailor for anything.
Yeah. So, do you guys plan on doing anything?
This is entertaining.
On the way to the butcher
Well,
shop.
Got
I-
everything I need right here.
Okay. And Paxi, I'm assuming you have nothing needing?
Nope.
Alright. Healer.
I don't want to go into the butcher shop. I'm going to go around back.
God.
So, if you go around back,
I
like
think you
one
know
of the
what I'm looking
alleyways.
for. I'm looking for bones. And I will use locate object, which I believe I have. No, I don't have already. Never mind.
Doesn't that also involve you have to locate an object that you've touched before?
Or like if you know about it. Like I could locate the nearest set of bones.
Alright,
but
so
I don't have
you
it
can-
ready.
I'd say roll perception.
Okay, I'm gonna guide myself. Let's see here, perception. Sorry, I had to roll on my phone this year. Oh, 14 plus 4, 28 plus a D4.
28. What?
No, I said
There you
18.
go. Oh,
21.
21.
nice.
So you look
Practice
around,
thing.
you know what you want, you know what you're looking for. You have a good eye for that stuff. But when you look at your shop, you notice that compared to the other houses, this place, even the alleyways, is sparkly clean. There's no trash, no nothing.
Where does it go?
Going to the morgue, I guess.
You want to go inside?
Oh,
Yeah, I guess I'll go inside.
So you go
start
inside.
not
The first
following
thing,
this part.
first thing you notice when you enter inside is the sound of slicing.
Ah,
In
concerning.
the morgue?
Mazel. Oh, and that's myself.
So
Mazel
you notice
tov.
out the standing basically at the counter, or at least a little ways from the counter, you see this flashing steel. And you get a little closer, you notice that this person is wielding a cleaver. It is slicing at lightning fast speed. It's like and when they're finished, you can see a whole bunch of clean cuts that look like ham. Not raw
We
meat,
are at the butcher,
cooked
not the
ham.
morgue, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
And
so
the
what kind of
person
meat do I see? Just ham?
at the moment, you can see other various things on display. Like they have like on one part they have raw meats like beef, chicken, pork. Then you can see on the other part they have some cooked things like cooked ham, some roasting turkeys. They seem to have quite a selection.
Ah. It is a celebration, my friend.
Is that what you say?
Yes.
So when you do, the
2.
person stops cutting. And you can look. You notice that they're kind of hooded a bit. kind of concealing their faces. But when they turn, you notice she's a tiefling. She got ash black skin, very silver eyes. You can see very tiny horns that's curled back into the hood. She kind of looks at you, spins the cleaver a little bit, and then slams on the counter. Celebration! Hmm?
Oh, yes, and I need 2 animals for a pig roast. What? Do you have whole pigs here?
Not when I'm done with them.
Well,
Gets
before
up,
you
pulls the
before you
cleaver out.
started with them, of course, that's what I mean.
I can sell some to you. So 2 pigs. Looking for a sow?
I mean, I guess
A
you're...
boss?
What's cheaper?
Depends on how hard they are to catch. She just starts spinning the cleaver with her fingers. The boars can be a little problematic, but
Well,
they're no match for me.
I'll take a sow then. 2 sows is fine.
Alright. If you're looking for the very succulent meat, it will be a silver apiece.
1 silver for an entire pig?
I'll take 4 of them, actually.
Oh, that will be 5 silver then.
My friend Paxi is quite fat. I do not believe your math is good, but I will consider it a tip.
Oh no, my math is correct. To buy entire pigs, it's a premium. You know, a whole pig gives me a lot more than just, chopping up into little bits, selling the organs, selling the meat, selling the bones.
I'll pass her 6 silver, and I'll say,
Oh.
the plumpest, please.
She then takes her cleaver and just scoops the silver up into her apron. And she just turns the cleaver a little, spins it a little bit, slams it back into the counter.
Have these delivered to the bauble.
Oh, I don't do delivery. You have to bring them yourself. And then she goes over the
Bigger
counter.
is it big than me?
Don't worry about it, healer. I can carry him.
She then walks back, and then she starts walking out again with 4 bags, giant bags tied with rope, 2 on each shoulder. And then she just slams them onto the counter.
God damn, death by Snoo Snoo?
No.
Alright, well, I'm all done, so.
She just slams on the counter. Yourselves, the plumpest I have.
Oh, thank you so much.
Of course. Now, if it's whoever the occasion, be sure to tell me how it went. And if you bring more business, I'm always open. But I do not guarantee you'll be getting entire animals every time, no. Unless you go in early in the morning, right after I've recently hunted.
Can I roll some sort of insight to see if I know what he's doing? Or, like, just watching this, do you think I would have gotten the idea by now?
Roll insight, I guess.
I mean, I feel like we only understand what he's doing because we know Chris.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah, because we don't know if he's trying to do necromancy yet, so you can roll insight if you want.
Set-
17? From what
Am I putting 2 and 2 together here?
Kinda. You know that whatever he's doing does not meet the eye.
So, like, he asked the guard about skeletons, he's asking about weird cloaks, he's looking for dead things. Is Athenia with us, or did she go back?
Yes.
Oh. Does Athenia notice this as well?
I have never rolled insight. All I know is I'm being entertained. And I'm not the punching bag of healers this time, so it's entertaining to see what is going on.
I'm just gonna kind of side, like, to Athenia. I'm like, I think a healer's trying to raise some zombies.
That's ridiculous.
Healer? I say healer.
Yes?
What are you doing with these? As we're walking out,
I want
by
to
the
help
way.
him carry the pigs back to the tavern just like this.
Uh-oh.
What am I doing with the... What am I doing with 4 lives?
Yes! I love that game! I had that game as a kid!
Really?
Yes! It was the
Bible
best!
Adventures as a kid?
I had Bible Adventures on the NES as a kid.
That's right.
The other game it came with was Joseph. You did the exact same thing.
Yeah, wait, wasn't there like 3 games in this?
Yeah. I only remember Noah and...
They're like all exactly the same game.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I get hungry at night and I want a snack. So, I mean, I'm just preparing for the coming week, is all.
Understandable, understandable.
And Ronnie's an awful cook, by the way.
Uh-oh.
Christmas save? Healer?
Oh, yeah, sure. I have advantage on these, so I'm hoping that one of these things.
He just runs out of the circle real fast.
I have a +4 and advantage, and I haven't passed one yet.
Where do you
13,
get advantage from?
18. Oh, Gnome's Cunning.
Huh. Okay. Well, you succeed.
But she
Cunning
knows you're lying, though.
Cunning Gnome gets advantage on Intelligence, Wisdom, and...
I mean, she doesn't know that you're lying. She knows that you can lie.
Oh, sure.
Gnome Cunning. I've never heard of this. You have advantage on all Intelligence, Wisdom, Charisma saving throws against magic.
Yeah,
There's a different
I forgot
gnome.
it. I forgot
That's
it
a
whenever I
gnome
did
trait.
that thing.
God damn. That is broken.
No, I mean I'm a foot tall and 20 pounds. I have no. You know what I mean?
Yeah, why are you so fat?
Yeah.
'Cause I'm well eaten. I eat pigs whole.
Jesus Christ.
Like you're like 2/3 the height of a newborn baby, but like double the weight.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh god.
It's
You're
the
basically just
armor, really.
You're basically just like a ball of gnome.
Let's.
Anyway,
While
so
we're at it, let's look at how the size of a gnome between 3 and 4 feet tall, on average about 40 pounds.
no, I'm more like a garden gnome.
Yeah, I see that.
He's
All
just
right,
a smart
all right.
flick.
All right, I'm gonna
Willing
just
to
go
accept
back
that.
to the glittering bauble at this point.
Oh, I see you just like shake your head and move on. Like we're letting this go. We're not gonna do. Okay.
What do you expect me to do? Honestly,
What
do you
kill him
guys
in the
think?
streets?
What do you guys think I'm doing with these?
What? As I get back to the glittering bauble, a monkey throws a banana at me and I drop all the animals.
Yep.
All right.
How? Knowing full well, I'm just like, I imagine you're not doing what you're planning on doing here in the city. So how exactly? And I look at the cloaks. Never mind.
I don't have him made yet. I gotta send him a message.
Oh, I remember the cloaks. I was like,
How long would you say it's been so far, Mr. DM, since we left the blacksmith?
30 minutes at most.
okay.
Okay.
But if
I-
you guys want to wait around until the 2-hour mark,
Is there a different inn or restaurant or something that I can get food closer to the blacksmith?
There's a few, I mean, like, street vendors selling, like, various street foods for medieval or fantasy times, I guess.
Okay. I'm gonna go get a turkey leg.
Nah, you don't find turkey legs here. What you will find, though, is, like,
Flag bearer leg? Mm-hmm.
Plague bearer leg,
Delicious.
you'll find a fried turkey leg.
yeah. Okay, that's fair.
That would only cost you, like, 2 copper
That's
for a giant fucking leg.
Yep. I'll take that. And anyway, I'm just passing the time, and then I'm gonna go back and get my coin, or my
So, after
So
a
what does the
long
coin
wait,
look like again?
one
say?
one side was my horns, and then the other side was a cooking pot.
Ah.
So when you show up back to the blacksmith, you can see that he's busy hammering away at seems to be the sword he was initially working on.
That's not how you work on those. You gotta keep them hot the whole time. It's probably cracked.
Yep, it is hot.
You're that asshole who tells the professional.
Yeah.
Like, like when he was not stopped working on it, he just put it in the furnace to to keep it hot. Anyways, he's currently working on it again. He hasn't noticed that you guys walked up.
I'll just
Hmm?
Yo, looks at you.
Oh, Doctor Who.
Hmm?
Paxi. Ahem. And I nudge Paxi.
Uh, is my coin ready?
He gets up,
Did he
brings a sword with him.
Did he forget?
He walks into the shop, then comes back and he's holding a bag and he sets it down in front of you.
I open it.
You notice there's a lot of coins in there.
Oh.
At least 10. Like when you go reach in and you pull them out, you can see one of the coins has the horns on one side and then a cooking pot on the other. But when you reach to the other coins, you notice all of them have the horns on one side, but they're blank on the other.
And I hold up the original, the fist and the arrow, and go, "You know what this is, don't you?" I will, opportunity. Would you happen to know where, and I'll flip it to the arrow side, where this man, I believe his name is Dreshard. Would you know of him?
Kind of just like stares at you a bit, looks at the coin. And he reaches over to grab it again. Grabs it. Looked at it for a bit.
I have, and I do know.
Okay.
Yes, I like this guy.
Gives the coin back.
Treasured. Don't come to Wish Door often anymore. Occasionally, refills on arrows. Stops by for arrowheads. Makes his own, you know.
Does he get his arrowheads from you? Okay.
I'm assuming that's a yes.
Yeah. I don't have anything to. I don't have any.
Roar.
I don't have any reason
Probably
to.
over there.
Where? I'm sorry. Where?
Gid Roar.
Gid roar. Okay.
East of Wishdall. Other side of Hardwood Forest. Something cultists. Something killing. Dispensing trust is treasured stuff.
Okay. Thank you very
Why?
much.
Well, that sounds interesting.
We've been dealing with Cray and Sakala and Feather. Yeah, I'm just looking to get the old band back together.
Waste of time. Sakala. Bitch.
I'll say, sir, of that, I agree. This may be out of my price range, but for future knowledge, I'm looking for half-plate armor. How much would that run me?
Out of your price range. But quit laugh. Sakala. 10 gold.
Done! Slap it down!
2 days. Not
Fair.
on my priority.
Fair, very fair.
Anything else?
And he starts walking back into his shop.
You say 10? 10 gold?
Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
that was beautiful. Well, I'm suddenly interested in these cultists.
And I'll make mention that Cray had some papers on her desk talking about cultists possibly in town.
Oh, and you only mentioned this now?
Well, we were on a time crunch, you see, going into the forest and whatnot. Yes.
Understandable. I appreciate the honesty, if not delayed.
Hey, I have been nothing but honest with you, Miss Athenia.
Zone of truth.
Right.
Zone of truth.
No, I'm out of spell slots. I would if I could.
I will head back to the glittering bauble.
Right.
That's a lot. I feel like drink and a meal is in order.
I shall be right back. Drink is and meals in order for Athenia. For me, piss is in order.
Sure.
Okay. I guess we should take a break then.
Yeah, we could take a
Small break.
pause.
To this class because of all the like dumb stuff that allows me to just run into battle completely recklessly and not die. Yeah, you must still make death saving throws, and you suffer the normal effects of taking damage while at 0 hits. However, if you would die due to failing death saving throws, you don't die until your rage ends.
Pretty poggers.
Beautiful. And then even if I do die at the end of combat, you guys can just bring me back to life instantly with no cost.
Except for diamonds.
Nope.
No, not even that.
Nope. Path of the Zealot, if they want to bring me back to life, it doesn't cost material components.
Let me bring up that tab again.
That's why I picked this path.
Path of the Zealot.
We were getting that for the rest of us.
What if you don't? What if you don't like your character? Your character
That's already a thing I have. If a character casts a spell to bring me back to life, it doesn't cost material components.
Where is that?
It's like the level 3 thing for Path of the Zealot.
It was. So.
However, he can't turn me into a zombie with that. So, I got that going for me.
Why would I do that?
Okay. You literally just throw yourself and fucking kill until you're dead, and then you're back. So in other words, target the healer.
Yep. Note to self: if we ever need a living sacrifice, hand over Swolbo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but
we have multiple healers.
the problem though, most sacrifices though do require souls, and if the soul gets used up, then he won't be able to get revived.
So that's the point. So,
anyways,
this...
DM Nightmare Fuel aside.
Okay.
So you guys return to the
Gods
glittering
have
bubble.
blessed me.
Yep.
Do we have Amazon packages out front?
Not out front, but you do see Calbrins currently manning the desk now. Currently flipping a black token on his finger, catching it, and then flipping it again.
What are the sides?
You don't know.
I want to look with my shitty perception.
Roll
with
perception.
your shitty human eyes.
You're both nearsighted and farsighted.
10.
I'll tell.
You look
Patrick,
at it.
if you
You
squint,
notice-
you can see better. I'll cast guidance.
When he's flipping the coin, well, fine. Roll the guidance.
So, is 14 gonna make it any better?
Probably.
What? God damn it.
10's not very good. 10's mediocre.
12.
12. You know what? Good enough. You have a hard time noticing it first, but as you kind of squint a bit, you notice that one sign looks like it has a fist, but the other
course.
side's blank. He's kind of just flipping in here. You guys, once you guys walk in, he goes, "Ah, my favorite customers." And by customers, I mean freeloaders, but whatever. So, I see you've returned, finished running your whatever errands or whatnot. Just let you know, your rewards has arrived.
Okay.
Oh, about
So he-
freeloaders.
He pulls out 6 sacks and he tosses one to each of you guys. If you were to look inside, you'll find 12 gold pieces. Not 12 gold pieces worth of silver, but actual gold pieces. Next, he pulls out 2 bottles and sets them down. One bottle is like a very shiny glass with a silver label on it, and the other one is solid metal with etchings on it. 2 bottles from Cray's personal collection. Took her about an hour to make her choice because she did not want to part with any of them. So treat it with care.
Take the metal one. And I'll hand the other one to Kami.
Kami. Yeah, the metal one. It's pretty weighty. It's heavy as hell.
Just like my
But
sister.
you can eat it, but it's completely filled.
God.
Anyways. Also, your delivery from the court cleric has arrived as well. He just points at another bag. It's a little smallish. If you were to peer inside, you would find 2 diamonds and 2 platinum bracelets. One bigger than the other. And by that, I mean one much bigger than the other.
Nice, nice.
Also, lastly, Athenia.
Yes.
Yes, I remember your name. Regardless, I went to get your split armor. There was none available. So,
Full
made a
plate.
compromise.
Wait, what? What'd you say?
No, I made a compromise. So, just so you know, the hoops I had to get through this was really difficult. So, how about a trade?
Trade?
Yep. A favor in exchange for a suit of pristine plate armor.
Called it.
Well, how can a lady say no to that?
He walks over, grabs a sword off this shelf, and he just goes over and points the blade at you. Just a finger prick.
I'm going to stop that.
Before you do that, which I agree, I uncorked the bottle that I was given. Give it a little sniff.
Yeah, is a very strong aroma of, it seems to be mead.
I take a gulp. And I hold my hand out.
wildflowers. You prick your finger?
Yeah.
Can I roll to pull her hand away? Can I say something?
Make an what would be athletics, acrobatics?
Fun with that.
Like how hard is it for a guy to just pull a finger away from getting stabbed by a sword?
I mean, she seems pretty quick to do it, so I guess roll whatever one, strength or dexterity.
Acrobatics or athletics? They're both the same. Or slap.
Make a roll.
2.
2.
She seemed to be, after she took that swig, she seemed really keen on getting that plate
Patsy,
armor.
why are you grabbing my arm?
So what do you do? Like, she pricks her finger. You see the sword, like, ripples for a moment. And that little token he's holding in his hand, the blank side turns to a taunting face. He kind of flicks it in the air.
Aha,
in his shirt.
you made a deal with the shield. You idiot.
And
I
then
didn't
he
say
just
that.
puts the sword back onto there. He just looks at it. Looks like that little
woman
shield
of
has
my
become
word.
a little representation. Alright, deal's been made. With my little friend as my witness, you can find your plate armor in your room.
I appreciate it.
Be sure to
I
give
see you
Ronnie a
all
thanks as
over-
well. He carried it all the way up there.
Ooh, I understand
Piece
that's
by
quite
piece.
heavy. I will give my thanks.
He kind of looks at Paxi, kind of just raises an eyebrow, like, what? What are you going to do about it?
Wolvo also has 4 pigs that he's carrying
Head
around. by
raised
the way.
over my head, stacked on top of each other.
All right. In that case, I'm going to celebrate by taking this bottle upstairs. I'm going to have a merry time by myself.
Kelvin.
Hell, she took the booze.
You just hear
No,
Wonton speaking like, "Hey, did you see that? My face is on there. Heck yeah!"
Of course it is, Wonton.
I mean,
I wouldn't-
how can I love my face like this, huh? Huh?
Absolutely.
Man, if I had a mouth, I'd be drinking some of that too. But be sure to drink for both of us. You hear?
Of course. I have a feeling you and I might just get along better than I thought.
Really? I thought we were already getting along well. Shit. Guess we got some way to go.
Crazy bitch took all the booze.
Kelvin, by
Yeah.
the way.
Kelvin. There's an
Kelvin.
R.
Hey, I took half of it. It's Kami.
When, I know you called us freeloaders, but I have great news for you. The cleric of the court said at the very end of this, when we're all gone, you could charge her the bill. How generous of her, huh?
Not.
I'm not gonna roll. He's just gonna start
Not
grinning
the
and just like,
chance in hell.
oh, trust me. If I've already got a long bill, well, let's just say tab, queued up for her.
Then she said
Just my
some
way
weird
of saying
stuff about-
hi.
Then she said some weird stuff about black people that I didn't quite get.
Oh no.
Fuck.
Sure. Despite how uptight she is, let me tell you, she does mean well.
Does she?
In her own special
Now-
way.
I'd like to roll insight against that.
What exactly brought your team and her together? It doesn't appear to be voluntary.
We have our own goals, our own, little objectives that we share. I mean, what brought all of you together?
Money and stupidity.
Touche.
Mostly stupidity.
To say, everyone had some of their own goals. Me, I just wanted to adventure, see the world, do some good, make some little cash on the side, meet some people, that sort of thing. God, he just points back at Wellsplitter. Found a good friend along the way, as well as good. Nah, I'm not saying tool. Come on, you're more than that. Anyways, but other than that, not bad. Like Feather, her story might be different, but she also wanted to do some good, understand the local fauna and the flora, and other stuff, Druid things. But she's rather simple. Once we stopped adventuring, she went back to her normal duties.
So, Miss Sakala,
Sakala, yeah.
She mentioned something interesting, that those coins, there isn't an upper limit on what can be requested as a favor.
Did she tell you that?
It's curious. What exactly happens if the favor is declined? Or the deal is not upheld?
Did she actually say that?
She did.
She still believes that! Okay. Anyways, now, okay, I'll be completely fair. The whole favor thing works with Wellsplitter is there is a limit. The deal has to be fair. Favors can be declined up to a certain limit, but when both parties know very well, or at least when Wellsplitter deems that a favor is, or at least the right worth, then it must be upheld, regardless of what you say. But when a favor is completely unfair, you're fully well to be able to decline. Wellsplitter is not biased. But for her, she doesn't know that. And for all she knows, whatever, if you have to tell her to jump and then yell profanities, she has to do it. There's a reason why I have
I
no
think
more
she'd
of
do
those
that
tokens.
anyways.
And what happens if Wellsplitter deems the favor fair, yet is still unfulfilled?
Remnant magic.
It's never happened before?
it has.
And what happened? Did they get turned inside out? Lose their hair? Drop their fingernails? Spill it. You guys and your half-truths.
What? You know, knowledge is power. I don't feel like giving anything out, you know? Well, I mean, why do I have to tell you? You know what? I'll be a little kind, you know, because you've been a little entertaining as of late. Not to mention, I can only presume you gave Sakala a hard time, so that's just a bonus for me. But I'll tell you this: you know that little contract you signed with Cray?
Sure.
Something a little like that.
You
See,
felt you would feel compelled.
Kinda. Basically, Sakala, she has her own remnant, a contract maker, because, you know, Whale Splitter, contract sword. But she also has her own little contract remnant that makes those golden contracts with unreason. Whale Splitter is a little bit different.
Do all remnants that you are aware of have sentience?
Nope. Did that necklace have sentience?
Fair point.
We don't know everything about the wizards and old wizards, sorcerers. I don't know exactly what kind of mages they were. Spellcasters. Let's just call them spellcasters. We don't know exactly everything about them. In fact, there's a whole lot out there we don't know. But we're still learning to this day. Lishrot, from what we know about him, he's the one we seem to know the most due to the fact of how much stuff there is that he left around the entire continent. He makes all sorts of magic items that are a little too good than what they should be. Some are intelligent, some are not. Well Splitter, Thenia's shield. Those are a few examples. But others, not the case. I mean, there's the necklace. There's that little dowsing thing that Feather has. That contract maker that Sakala has. And then there's that my friend's bow. Other than that, yeah. Not all of them are sentient. In fact, some are even sentient, but you would never know. Some are very upfront with their intelligence, while others prefer to hide and then manipulate from the background. Not all of Lishrot's stuff are good. Gotta be careful when you use them. Because even though some are very happy to, you know, be wielded once again, because, you know, it's been a long time since the war. But there are some who have ulterior motives. Either just the way Lishrot designed them, or the loneliness kind of gets to you, you know.
Be perfectly honest, last time I was in Cray's office, I noticed some reports about cultists in the town.
Yeah. You know, this entire continent has always had a cult problem. It's mostly just two cults. It lasted for a couple hundred years, I think. They always disappear when you think you got rid of them, and then bam, they're back. Kind of like cockroaches.
Anything we should keep our eyes out for? Symbols? Clothing?
I'm not really sure about symbols. I mean, me personally, I haven't seen one of them in a long time. My cult killing days are over. But I guess your stereotypical cultist, robes, whatnot, weird, erratic behavior.
Long
I mean,
robes, cover the face, cover the hands, cover the feet, those sort of things?
Exactly.
Ah,
Although
okay.
for these particular
Very skinny.
cults, also the smell of blood.
Okay,
Maybe
so
maybe perhaps ozone
blood or ozone.
or sulfur.
What if
I
they
think it's a
smelled like
combination.
dead people?
At that point, I don't think it's just a cult problem.
People in a medieval fantasy.
What would
setting
that
know
what would that
ozone smells
indicate?
like?
Smell
How
dead.
do you know it's medieval? For all we know, it could be futuristic.
I mean,
Post
if you
up.
smell like dead people, then you kind of have a whole new problem all on your own. I mean, me, he just taps his nose. I have a good sense of smell. Not as good as my friend, but
Oh,
enough to know when something's off.
you could smell a dead person or a cultist, huh?
Maybe not a cultist, but then again, those cult members, well, depends on which ones. If we're talking about the cult of the New World, then I can't really tell the difference. They can blend in with society real easily.
Cult.
But then there's the cult of New Chaos. Now they don't hide for shit. They make things very apparent. And which, by the way, the second one is the one that's causing the issues right now for Cray. They like stirring up trouble.
What is their goal?
To be fair, I don't really know too much, because, I mean, I just kill them, you know? I don't really want... All I know is that their goals are bad, but cults of the New Chaos, from all I know, they just want to stir things up. They're trying to basically topple order, they're trying to burn things, kill people. There's really just no order to their madness, essentially. The other one, they've done some manipulating and tried, I don't know, slowly seeping into society kind of thing. Don't really know much because they've been caught a few times, but haven't had much word of what they're doing now. Why, are you trying to get involved in that?
I'm looking to help where help is needed.
Oh, you already helped enough with the forest. Want my opinion? If you keep going in there, you'll probably get some more things out of it, but... from what you saw, at that point, I wouldn't be surprised if they're actively looking for you. But if you want to help Cray with the whole cult problem, though, well, there's pay there. There are bounties. If you can solve that problem, though.
What do you think Cray is going to do with the information we gave to her? These 4 boss-like creatures in the tree.
Well, you already gave it to the little person who's pretty much overseeing the whole study.
So that's it? We just study them from afar?
Unfortunately, Sakala seems more interested in seeing how they tick more than actually doing anything with them. Not to mention, she does, even though she advises the royal family, they are the ones who have the ultimate final say. And, well, King Fahrenheit, even though he is some, royalty, he's the king of this land, and I won't question him. Officially, I do have to say that he doesn't quite realize how serious this is. I mean, he has sent a lot of guards out there to that forest before to try and quell the issue and lost a lot of good men and women. And now, after seeing that the corruption has been staying inside the forest, he's basically gave a royal order to essentially leave it alone. That's why Cray can't do anything except, that commission. It's like a loophole. Otherwise, she can't send anyone in there. And until the royal family's mind is changed, it's going to stay that way.
So King Fahrenheit doesn't understand the degree of seriousness.
God.
As we were
Perhaps-
leaving the palace, a gentleman named Auseland was giving me the side-eye. What's his problem?
Oh, Auseland? You met with the captain of the royal guard.
Well, bumped into him, I should say.
He and I don't really see eye to eye, but then again, he takes his job a little too seriously. If you're not part of the royal family or part of his guard, then you're basically suspicious.
Well, he wasn't giving anybody else the side-eye, just myself.
I don't know. I mean, if he thinks you disrespected royalty, like talking over them or something, then he'd probably get that reaction.
Well, I'm
Actually,
hungry.
now that you mention it, hold on. Hey, Ronnie, you got some turkeys? I think we ordered some. Be sure to bring some out. You hear, what? Turkeys? Lad, you know I'm going to be making my great turkey stew? Ronnie, I love your cooking, but your turkey stew is shit. Fair enough, lad. I'll just make roasted turkey instead. And he just turns back to you. You got some food coming in. But anyways, you met Auseland. How did you meet him? Because he's almost never by himself. Unless when he's training his guards. Which... I don't think you.
I'll give you a guess of what young red-headed lass was next to him.
Which one?
Full of piss and vinegar. She was spirited as hell.
Ah, Priscilla. I thought
That's
you were
the
talking
one.
about Lindiana. Well, Lindania is probably the way she'd prefer to be called. First Princess Priscilla.
And I assume the other one is the second.
Yep. The royal family, we have the first princess, Priscilla. Then you have the second princess, Lindania. And then the third prince, Ruinheit.
Ruin time?
Ruinheit.
Height. Got it.
Priscilla, bless her soul. She is looking to become, well, a spirit of change. Even though royal families of the, well, House Fiandor, some of the members have actively went out to combat and whatnot, try to get their hands dirty, get a feel of the surroundings, and, be really active with the people. Sadly, that's sort of changed over time, but Priscilla is looking to bring that tradition back. She has my respect.
Interesting.
And if you met her,
What would someone do to gain an audience with the first princess?
I mean, if she's aware, not much really. If she knows you and if she likes you, which isn't that hard, well, it'll be pretty easy. The problem is, it's actually getting past the guards. Kind of see, they're not really fond of me. But if you do ask Cray, she might be able to pull you a, Speaking of, and he pulls out another token, and he switches it to the side, and you notice a sword, but with wings on each side.
What the hell?
I haven't given you one of Cray, have I?
Wait, I thought.
Santa now favors shit.
Wait,
What
oh.
fucking coins does this guy have? Jesus Christ.
Oh, Fist is Kelvin. Why did I have that as Cray?
Nope. He's like, I could give you this, but
I can't
as you
tell
can
what.
tell, I've kind of been running out of them.
No. I don't think something of that magnitude is needed for this.
Take it.
And
Are you
I'll
sure?
hand him my little sack of iron coins. I'll say.
He kind of looks down at them.
It appears that favors are the currency of this land, not money.
Only from our party.
Well, these might not have the same compelling weight as yours, but morally the same.
If you wanted tokens, you could have just asked Wellsplitter.
I have my hands full with my own companion.
That is true, but I don't know. Slave like Morning grows rather fond of Wellsplitter.
Well, maybe someday she can make tokens of her own.
And then she just says, "You wish."
And I just kind of under my breath is like, I don't want that kind of shit on me.
And he just shrugs his shoulders. No loss. Gotta say, stuff Wellsplitter's made from is much better than I am.
Well, let's find out. Ronnie!
What?
I have a present for you.
You just hear some clattering noises, and then swearing, and then a lot more clanging. Then he just comes out. Like, present, you say? I love presents. What you got for me?
And I'll flip him the iron coin with the horns and the cooking pot on it. When he catches it, I say, no magic, no contracts, just a deal between men.
He just looks at it. It's a little too small to make a drink tray or something like that. Oh! Huh?
No magic, no contracts, just a deal between men.
Yeah.
You
Well,
saved
my-
You did me a favor, I owe you one.
Oh, yeah. lad, gotta be careful when you eat. And he just pulls out a little knife, like a small needle-like knife. Ain't the first time I gotta do that. Happened to Kelvin before. Like, go back to cooking the turkey, please.
Do I notice a scar on Kelvin's neck?
Roll perception.
Has he been traked by Ronnie before?
Roll perception, but with advantage.
Oh shit. Oh good, because that one sucked.
That one.
That one's...
You do see that. You notice that one part of his neck is slightly discolored compared to the rest.
Jesus Christ.
People getting traked up in here. What the hell?
Anyways, Ronnie goes back in, then comes out with a giant plate of a whole fucking turkey.
The hell?
Hey lad, was already cooking this, about to slice it up for stew, but whatever. He just sets it down. Oh, hold on a moment. Runs back in, comes out with a sprig of parsley, sets it on top. And then he grabs a bottle of sauce and starts spraying it all over.
What the fuck? He just drowns it in ketchup.
Nah, gravy. Eat in, lads. It is on the house. Calvin just shrugs his shoulders at that point.
Like,
Hi,
how do
lads.
you guys stay in business if you don't charge anybody anything for the food?
You just hear one of the customers
It's
goes,
like any other bar.
"Yes, and he charges a premium." And Calvin goes, "Shush, quiet, you. Just eat your food." And just Ronnie says, "Lad, you gotta tell you, the adventure this fucking guy had, he's a lot more loaded than he looks." And he just walks back in.
I'll look at
Calvin
Kelvin
just
and I
like-
say, what did Feather do with her share?
Probably invested in stocks or some shit.
Gave it to me.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah, I guess that is technically an investment.
I'm just gonna take a turkey leg and head to the room.
This turkey leg is even bigger than the one you had at the fucking place.
I like me a turkey leg. Wait, did Athenia go to her room?
Yeah, she went to her room a while ago.
Oh,
How many rooms do we have, DM?
4.
Okay, and Cammy and I are sharing a room.
I guess at this point, yeah.
All right. Well, ask Swolbo to deliver the pigs, and I'll give him his ring.
Oh, yeah.
so I'm gonna ask Morning, because we never discussed this. Alright, Spill, what did you and that shield talk about? He called you a fishing hook. I don't appreciate it.
You did not hear that though.
Oh, okay.
I never said anything.
Okay. I just
Yeah.
asked, what did you and the shield talk about? You seem to not be too fond of him. I just get
You know-
a
I don't really like him. Called me moody.
But you like
Or in
Wellsplitter.
his way, man, you are real moody and stuff. I don't know, whatever fucking way he spot talks. Oh, oops, I swore. Either way, you know what I mean. I don't like him. Unlike Wellsplitter, he looks like the age really got to his head.
He was alone for a long time in that forest.
That is true, but does not mean he get to address me in such a manner. You know, I'm fine with accents and whatnot. Everyone has their own way of speaking. Sure, some might be, I don't know, quote-unquote unrefined, but that don't really get to me. But the fact that he called me moody and I think he said fishing hook. Either way, I don't want anything to do with him.
Would you hear him if I interfaced with him instead? Or would you just ignore it?
Perhaps, but he'd better have a very good apology.
Oh, I'm not acting as a middleman. I'm just saying, in the event that I need to speak with him.
Fine, do what you wish. And she just cuts the connection.
I'm gonna go knock on Athenia's door.
Oh, while this was all going on, this entire conversation, I drank the entire bottle of mead.
Oh fuck.
And currently,
Like, this is, I mean, let's assume their conversation was going on for what, 45 minutes or so?
yeah.
Actually, he's gonna take advantage of a drunk Athena.
I drank
I will not open the door if she does not answer.
I
That's
drank
right.
the entire thing, and basically in celebration of this plate armor that's on my bed, right?
Wonton's currently singing.
I'm agreeing with him. I'm singing along.
Oh, you had it
Oh,
delivered
no.
already?
Had Athenia. Yeah, she's drunk as shit.
I'm drunk.
I do not know how to rhyme, but man, I sing like a good
You're
guy. Holy.
terrible. Terrible at
Hey.
this. Oh, I need something more to drink.
They
Like,
sure
start
didn't
going
make
through
me
my-
sing.
I start going through my pack, and I
Damn,
Pull
how
out-
much?
pull out a bottle.
And how much you got in there? Is that like a bag of holding? I don't know. It seems like you big pulling out more bottles than you could physically hold. You know.
I have to
Also,
see the peculiar one, the one that has the engravings on it, or the markings.
The metal bottle. Wait, no, you gave that to...
Nope.
no, you took the metal bottle. The other one you gave to Kami.
Oh.
I took the gold liquid bottle. And I kind of open it. And I want to give it a smell.
Oh, where'd you get that one again?
The one from the
Oh, it's
clearing and
the
the forest.
potion.
Oh, the
Potion?
potion.
yeah.
Smells like nothing.
My drunken stupor. I'm gonna give it a try because I'm not quite all there, and I thought this was my flask
You take a
that
drink
I
from it.
had beer in, yeah, or ale. Yeah.
So
Wait, didn't you say
drink-
that was a giant potion? Shit. I'm not there.
Yeah, it's a decent sized potion. But so you drink it.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste like anything.
Okay.
You finish it.
Yep.
Roll
I feel.
a new,
I mean, my
roll
taste
a
buds
new
are probably
character.
gone.
So
My taste buds are
did,
probably
did,
gone.
did you just hey Athenia, you how you feeling? You doing
Can
good?
I set you down real quick?
No, Athenia.
I'm trying on this
Hey,
armor.
Hey, Athenia.
Huh?
Did you know that if you look at me long enough, you get this alcohol might appear?
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna. All right, I tried to unstrap him so that way I can look at him.
Can see that the face is like this. He's staring at you.
Is there
Athenia,
something wrong?
roll Constitution
Uh-oh.
as in a save.
A constitution save?
19.
It's okay. Suddenly, your head clears completely, and now you're on the ground writhing in pain.
Oh,
Ruh-roh.
what did I do?
You
Oh,
rolled. Even at first, it seemed like you were doing pretty fine, but whatever that you drank immediately overpowered your iron stomach and your failing liver.
oh no.
Hey, Athenian, okay, listen. You gotta listen to my words, okay? So, count to 5, all right? Real slow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You don't feel any better. Hey, does that work for you?
Nope.
Well, I'm out of ideas. Suddenly you feel your skin glow a little bit.
What's happening? Oh, this hurts so much.
Hey,
Oh, why did I do that? What happened?
random shit you found, you know? Like, I'm smart
Oh, that
enough
was
not
my
to do
flask. What happened?
that. You drink a little potion that's thousands of years old, you know? You know, for all I know,
what?
could turn into a toad or maybe an Umber Hulk or something. You know what that
What
is?
is
It's like
an
a
Umber
giant,
Hulk?
it's like a giant creature with very hairy, bug-like face. You know, if you look at it, you have a seizure. Anyways,
Oh, God.
then you notice that the pain it goes away, and when you blink, you notice that your hair is a little bit more lustrous. You gain a
That is-
permanent +2 to your charisma.
What the fuck?
Hey, did,
Oh.
did anyone tell you? You look a little prettier now.
Yeah, just
alright.
drinking random bottles you find in the forest. Makes sense.
At this point, you would hear a knock on the door.
When like as soon as that happens, I stuff the potion bottle back into my pack.
But you
yes,
notice
who is it?
as you're putting it in your pack, it disintegrates into glass dust.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
that's what you want in your backpack.
Jeez. Okay. Sure. Open up.
Oh.
Hello?
Did you do something with your hair?
No. What? What are you talking about?
He's got the Super Saiyan 3 hair. It's like 12 feet long.
Oh God. No, I didn't happen to do anything. What brings you here, Taxi?
Well, it's interesting to find that there are other sentient objects in the world. I was under the influence that Morning was the only one till I met Wellsplitter, and you seem to have discovered another. And I was wondering if I could have a conversation with him.
And I strap Wonton back onto my arm.
As long as he has that bitch on her, no thanks.
He doesn't want to have any kind of conversation with.
I
your-
understand. And I will summon Morning, and I will gently place her on the couch over here. It's like,
There.
we have 60 seconds without her.
You just hear her say, "Oh, fine, okay, I'll watch."
All right. Is that so okay, Wonton?
Yeah, fine, whatever. As long as she stays there, you know? Don't want to have another fight. Otherwise, I'll become real heavy and smash that guy's toe, you hear?
No fighting, okay?
Hey! I'm the shield of wanton violence. You call it saying no fighting? It's like telling you, hey, I'm no longer into oaths. Or saying, hey, he's no longer into demons. Kind of the same thing, you know?
All right, fine. No fighting temporarily.
That is cool. I can deal with that.
All right, Paxi, you may talk with the shield.
Okay, I
And
will.
I set Wonton on the couch, away from Morning.
Glaive,
Okay.
yeah.
Would you like to join the conversation?
I think it should be fine.
Okay.
Whatever his.
So, okay, I'm
put
just
my
gonna
trust in
place a-
Wonton for this.
Place a hand on the shield.
You notice that its expression just got turned to
Just like
a
skeptical.
a skeptical, almost like a glare, but not. When you put your hand on it, you just see here, alright, what do you want?
Good evening, Mr. Wonton. My name is Paxi Tamnia Moldroith.
That's wonton to you.
Wonton. Understood.
Not
But-
wonton, wonton.
Wonton.
Get it?
Understood. Got it.
Wonton. There's no wanton, it's wonton. It's like want and ton. You know, like ton as in ton, it's wonton. Wonton.
Understood.
Got it?
Would you mind?
It's wonton, by the way. How much time you said? 1 minute? Shit, got more 30 more seconds to kill. It's wonton.
Would you mind telling me about? Oh shit! What's his name? Your creator, Lishnox.
Lishrod.
Lishrod.
Who the fuck is Lish Knox?
Would you mind telling me
Talking
about
about
Lishrod?
Lishrod? What do
you-
you want to know about him? What, am I not
A,
good enough for
is
you?
he still alive? B, how long were you in the forest?
How the fuck if I know if he's still alive? I've been in
C.
that forest for thousands of years.
C, what created the birthing tree?
Oh, you want to learn about that shit? Then why did you say so? You know, I want to tell Athenia, or Athania, I think it's Athania. I want to tell her about that, you know, but at the same time, she seems to be really into the whole drinking thing. I want to check out her liver, you know, it might cause some damage.
Fantastic.
Anyway, so
do you know of any way to kill that tree?
I mean, you stab things? I think stabbing it might work. But then again, it might be a little too tough with the way how thick its bark is. Not to mention, I don't know if work, you know, the whole plant thing with roots. You might have to pull it out by the roots too, because otherwise it'll grow back. Kind of like a weed, you know? Kind of because I know that there's a daisy, right? No, that's not a weed. Dandelions. There we go. Because you know, if you try to cut a dandelion, it'll just keep growing back no matter
All right,
how
I'm
many
gonna pull
times
my
you
hand
try.
away.
Find anything interesting there?
Absolutely not. Does that surprise you?
Oh, that's quite a shame. See, Wonton likes to tell me everything. Isn't that right, Wonton? And I put him back on my arm.
Yeah, I was trying to tell him about the tree, you know, but then he pulled it away. I was getting right to the good part.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, you know, like, apparently that tree is directly connected to Big Papa, you know? Apparently you gotta go down there into the earth, find that little cocoon-like nest thingy that he's constantly sitting in. You kill him, the tree dies too, you know? But, you know, he pulled his hand away right when I was about to tell him. Apparently he's impatient, my ass.
Yes, I completely understand. I know Paxi wouldn't understand whatsoever.
Yeah, that's what. No wonder that little fishing hook likes them. They're, you know, 2 peas in a pod.
You don't understand. I ain't relaying nothing.
I'm not even. Honestly, I'm not even listening to Wonton at this point. I'm just like basically.
I'm just gonna look at Athenia and just be like, "You have the patience of a saint, ma'am, and I'm going to leave."
Thank you.
Gee, now you know.
I appreciate you more and more every day.
Now that is something I like to hear more often.
I do too.
No.
Where were we? And I pull out my the flask of alcohol.
Is it empty now?
No, I never had any of the ale. I remember I drank the potion accidentally instead.
Oh shit. Alright.
Well, that's what I'm going to do with the rest of my night.
So Healer and Swolbo, what are you two doing?
I'm gonna drink and try and forget about these people that talk to spears and shields. Like I do every night.
You see, while you're eating or drinking, you see Ronnie would come down and he'll start digging in. He's like, you know, I haven't eaten since yesterday. But then again, it also makes sense because I ate like 5 pies, you know. Anyways, lad, what makes you join them party? You look real different.
You know, I keep asking myself that. I still don't have an answer.
Oh, lad, you don't know the same feeling. Funny enough, I didn't join the group yet, you know? Just points at Kelvin, who's currently busy reorganizing bottles or some shit. Funny enough, I met him by chance, you know? God damn it, I'm trying not to channel Wonton. Anyway, so lad, like me, funny enough, they actually found me by chance. I was like stuck in some kind of cell, abducted by a necromancer. Not fun stuff. Like, don't got anything against necromancers, but lad, they smell like death all the time, 24/7. I don't think they even know how to shower.
Hey Healer, you should find out where the necromancers are, just so we can avoid that place at all costs.
Yeah, necromancers sound pretty disgusting. I wouldn't want to ever be associated with them.
Lad, Farsos' name, amen. And he just grabs a fucking random...
Where are these necromancers so I can't find them?
Yeah, he just grabs a fucking mug of ale from another table, and he's just chugging it, and while the person who was initially drinking it would just stare at him.
So...
Oh, that hit the spot! Oh yeah, that, little gnome? Yeah, you're gnome. What are you here?
Oh no, I'm up in my room.
Oh.
With his pigs.
I'll go after Swolbo's done.
Dead? Oh, done. Anyways, lad. Word of advice. Don't trust the priests of Farsos, alright? Unless you're going to go to the High Priestess. Because otherwise they're all stuck-up bitches.
I'm noticing a trend.
Yeah, they seem to be.
Sakala, do you think she's tame? Oh, you'd be wrong because she's the worst. I had to deal with her for 2 years. And you know what's worse? Out of everyone else, she treated me the nicest. All because I fed her some ham and she apparently was all over it.
Damn.
Interesting.
Wasn't my type, you know? And he just starts walking back into the kitchen.
Wait,
If it,
so did Ronnie and Sakala get it on?
No, just said it wasn't.
Healer Gnome is still upstairs.
What I just
right?
heard is Sakala was all over Ronnie's ham.
Healer
Swolbo,
Gnome,
you
you're
want
still
your own
upstairs,
site?
right?
Swobo, roll inside.
I'm upstairs. That's right.
Alright. Next time I see you, I want to ask you if you have use for any part of these pigs other than the bones.
I do not.
Because
are you gonna-
apparently
are
the
you going to make a literal meat shield?
well, apparently the court cleric has a thing for ham.
Oh god.
If we want any favors.
Sweet dwarf ham.
God.
I should have said turkey or some shit.
Hey, you know what?
You know what? I'm
Like
pretty
the
sure
children.
Athenia just
Gobble,
won
gobble.
5 gold from her shield.
Hey, you know what? Like, I hear that she really liked ham and she was nice to people giving her ham. So we got one more tool, why not?
Alright.
Alright, is there anything else?
So up in my room, I will be preparing a ritual,
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
and I will cast Animate Dead on 2 of the pigs.
This
Well,
is where the
that'd be allowed.
campaign ends, when we get caught with a necromancer.
Alright, you cast Animate Dead.
I will make.
What are you
2
trying to make? Zombies or...
Well,
or-
they're whole pigs, correct?
Yeah, so they have to be zombies.
So it will be 2 zombie pigs, and then once they are fully alive, I will hand one of them my knife, my dagger, and I will instruct it to butcher the other 2 while I sleep.
How's the pig supposed to hold a dagger?
Hold on.
Yes! This is the
Wait.
dumbest thing.
Just to clarify, you're asking for a pig to butcher. Wait, how many pigs? So you have 4 pigs in total, right?
I can do basic tasks.
I want to say, as Chris was saying this, someone in Alliance in Maple just said, anyone a pig?
What the
Odd.
hell?
Yeah.
Beautiful timing.
Hold on.
Dylan, just remember, this is your fault.
How big are pigs? Medium?
Pigs are like 500 pounds!
No.
Oh,
Well, not in terms of the square. He needs to find out. That way he can place pigs on the map.
Pigs are probably
Pig.
They're probably
similar.
They're
Probably
small.
medium. They're small? Wow.
Hold on, let me double check again. Pig. Medium beast.
Yeah, medium.
The only
Okay,
medium
medium.
pig tokens I find are really small, though.
You're gonna enlarge them, right?
There should be pigs in that token pack I gave you.
Well, they need to be in Adidas tracksuits. as well.
Uh-oh.
Alright, in that case,
Oh, what the fuck?
so,
Las Vegetanias, comrade.
They're Russian pigs.
Does this have
Alright.
anything to do with the image you posted about it? Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, big pig. Alright, congratulations. You have 2 pigs.
Oh, thank you. And I'll worry about the tracksuits tomorrow and hope they don't get caught in the rim.
Jesus Christ.
And they're both controlled by you now, Healer Gnome.
Oh, thank you.
Actually, you know what? Come to think of it, I've read Animal Farm. Pigs can walk around on 2 legs and act like humans.
Oh god.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know.
Most
According to the
people
spell,
got
you can, yeah. Should be good.
We live in a society.
Okay, so... Alright, we got 2 zombie pigs. I don't know if everyone wants to be done for the night or not, but it's up to you guys.
Sure.
Alright, no fighting yet, but now you guys have an idea of what to do next.
Long rest.
Yeah. So, in the morning,
Yep, long rest.
I would like to talk with Morning and ask that princess that we bumped into. According to Kelvin, she is the Winds of Change. And if we were looking to cleanse the forest, she might be one to help us out.
Interested
you do have
in
an excellent
redheads
point.
there, huh, Paxi?
So,
What's your plan?
my plan, since I can't bring this up to her directly, and anything that I give her would be scrutinized by that beefcake of hers,
Oh, that hunk? What about him?
I figure
Don't say beefcake.
she said something interesting, that you only need to bow if you are in a duel. So what
Oh,
if
I
we
see
were
where
to
this is going.
propose a friendly sparring match, however we use each other's weapons, and you, in the short time you would spend away from me in her hand, could pass along our plan, or at least make our intentions known, and then she can contact us on her own volition.
You know, Paxi? Sometimes you're a little too smart for your own good. I'm in.
Thank you. And I will go downstairs. Is Kelvin there?
I'd say... Actually, he would. I mean, he runs his place. And funny enough, he is... Oh, I don't even have a token for him at the moment. Let me hold on.
So
What?
your way of getting around her having a bodyguard is to openly fight her?
I mean, she seems spirited enough that she would accept a friendly duel, and I would put a spin on it by saying, how about we use each other's weapons? And then Morning would be able to talk to her. And if anybody was to inspect Morning ahead of time, she would just remain silent. It's the perfect crime. It's the most elaborate way of passing a message in high school that I can think of.
Oh, this will be perfect.
Putting
Okay.
duels, got it.
Yes.
Because you're not going to get fucking slaughtered by,
We fight to the death.
What's his name again?
Well, no, I'm going to be dueling the princess, not her bodyguard that hates me for no apparent reason.
I mean, to be
Yeah,
fair,
no,
you did
he's got
talk over
reason.
her.
I mean, he has reason. He's just
Did
not...
I
Yeah.
say something? What did I do?
Yeah, you were
Reason
talking
is-
when she wasn't trying to speak.
Oh, I interrupted her?
Barely apparent.
Yeah.
He senses
Which
your
technically for
interest in
royalty, that's a
redheads,
big-
Stain.
Have you seen your face, Paxi?
I
That's
am
fucked
a
up.
handsome, literal devil.
That's
Back
pretty
up.
hateable.
God.
Alright, there we go.
Only we
Save
had a bard.
image. You know, oh, I should probably
Who needs a
change
bard when you have a paladin with a +9 persuasion at level 5?
Round, smooth. Wasn't my initial intention, but I'll do it. save.
So
Actually, I
Also,
don't
I
remember what the hell my persuasion was in the Cradle
Alright.
campaign.
It was like a 14 or
It was
Yeah.
insane.
you couldn't lose. So I kind of want to bring up this crazy plan to Kelvin and ask if he would. What the hell?
There we go. So you basically walk out and you see
Is that the blacksmith?
Kelvin's. Yep, speaking with the blacksmith. I had to make a token real quick. You notice that they're, when you walk down the stairs, you see the two of them talking to each other. Well, it seems to be more of a one-sided conversation with Kelvin speaking, and then the other guy, the blacksmith, which you recognize, just nodding or making the
The man of few words.
As you approach, you notice that he goes over there, like stops, like listening to Kelvin, peeks over to you.
I nod.
You
Oh, okay.
got
these-
your hot plate.
And he just strap from his back. He pulls out a half plate.
Finished
Oh.
a day early.
That
Laughter
is.
helped with energy.
And he just sets it down. Calvin just like looks at the half plate, then looks at you. So, is this going on that tab or? Okay. He just walks back to the counter. He just picks up the half plate armor, walks over to you, sets it in front of you.
Okay.
Sakala got it. She got you covered.
And he just starts walking away.
Bitch.
Dip.
And he just walks out.
I like this guy.
And just Kel was just like grinning wildly. So, I see you've met Elkwood, right?
Elkwood, the blacksmith.
Man, a few words.
Yeah.
His charisma's like a 6, and I love him.
You know, gotta say, if you ever need to ask him for advice, sometimes, if you really need it, the best response you'll ever give you is, love that guy.
If you say so.
Alright, well, you're now owner of half plate armor.
Oh shit.
Free of charge, because it's on her tab.
It gives me disadvantage
continue to
on
build.
stealth. Shit
Yep.
balls.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Now
Uh-huh.
you understand.
Clanky
Are you even
clank.
Are you even proficient in that as a?
It's medium. It's the heaviest medium armor you can get. But it brought my AC from 11 to 15. So
Which
so my
armors
AC
affect
is
your stealth? Just heavy armors?
plate.
medium and heavy, I think.
No.
Medium does not affect your stealth. It's only heavy armor, like chainmail, splint, and plate. Or not, whatever the 16 AC one is. God. Is it? It is chainmail. Chainmail is,
Oh, is it because I'm not proficient in medium armor yet? Is that it? Uh-oh.
You might not be strong enough yet either.
Yeah, you're like I was wondering if you were proficient in it.
Oh, that might be what's going on. I'll have to go
Yeah.
back and look at what I was doing. I'm gonna use it at some point, but
And
Oh.
who needs armor?
Yeah, who cares? You're not proficient in medium armor? Even I'm proficient in medium armor.
okay, clerics are naturally proficient
Yeah.
in, like, martial stuff.
Yeah.
Not
oh
all
no, I
martial
am
things,
Hex Warrior. I'm proficient in medium armor. I guess it's just that it's plate. Yep. Oh well.
So, Calvin just leans forward like, alright, so, what meal would you like free of charge this time?
Duck. Quack.
Whack.
Hey, Ronnie, do we have duck? Ronnie?
He comes out with 2 fully roasted
Am I-
ducks.
Ah, I forgot. Ronnie's out shopping. Apparently, you ate everything in the kitchen at this point, or at least everything of quality.
He gave us everything in the kitchen.
Explains it. Yep, Ronnie's not here. So, food will just have to be eaten of it, unless, of course, you're good with stew, because I am good at making that.
Not what I've heard.
Who asked you? Just for you know, I taught Ronnie how to make a few recipes. Sure that he took it and improved it a little.
Oh, I thought this
but
was
that don't matter.
talking.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Because the last time Ronnie said he was gonna make stew, the immediate response was for Calvin to tell him that it was terrible.
Who taught Ronnie how to cook with peppers? Oh no, that was a family recipe, he says.
Okay, so
Everything to Ronnie is a family recipe.
Ronnie is Vin Diesel, got it.
oh god. Bam.
Nothing is spicier than family.
I gotta say, when Ronnie took me to his family, I ate so much that I thought I was actually going to explode.
Nothing is spicier than family.
They asked me that one time. They asked me to make a meal, like a meal for them as well, so they could see my cooking. I think a little Mia died that day.
Yeah, you knocked down a few texts that day.
There's a reason why Ronnie cooks from now on. Apparently, his family don't trust me feeding him.
So, I want to explain my wild plan of challenging the princess to a duel in order to get Morning to pass along the message that we want to help cleanse the forest for good.
And when he listened to that, he's kind of just like looking at you, kind of skeptical. But when you finish, kind of like thinks a little bit. You know, that sounds like an absolutely crazy plan. What makes you think it'll work?
You said yourself she is a wind of change, and no one else is getting off their ass to do anything about the problem.
Fair enough. Alright, I'm in. So, I'd say not today, but knowing my connection, and that connection being Cray, captain of the guard, she should actually be visiting the barracks tomorrow. Not today, but tomorrow. Usually to do a little inspection of the guards. She and Cray are somewhat good friends, well, on professional terms at least. Cray would never actually try to befriend royalty because, well, both of the crown paladins are kind of their own thing. Anyways.
It's bullshit. Fair enough.
Regardless, if you want to catch Priscilla, then tomorrow at the barracks when she's doing an inspection, and inspection's a little bit it's a little too professional. If anything, she just goes there to raise morale, meet with the people, say the least.
Would
if you wanna
a
catch her
friendly
there,
duel
that'd
be appropriate?
I mean, in front of all the guards. If anything, she would take it as a teaching opportunity.
Fantastic.
Even if it wasn't appropriate, I would say out of all of the royalty I've met, not much, by the way. I've only met royalty for, here, Shador. And there's also the theocracy. But, other than that, she is the most easygoing. The Boomy's theocracy. It's down southeast of here.
People of the gods.
Exactly.
Your people.
Oh, I'm going to say right now, them there, a lot better than Sakala. Trust me. Don't let those dragon priests ruin it for you. Some of them are much better. It's just this dragon. Don't mean to speak ill of Farsos, but she is known as the Noble Dragon. Anyways, but yes, if you want to catch her and challenge her to a friendly duel without it looking out of place, tomorrow at the barracks is your best bet.
Fantastic.
And at this point, you probably don't even need me to get in there because the guards will probably be aware of you now. I do exploits, but I'm still gonna be tagging along anyways because I gotta watch this.
How is she with a blade?
I mean, she is being personally tutored by the royal captain himself. Not better than
Get
me,
fucked.
but she is starting to get really good at the blade. But I mean, she doesn't really use a sword though.
If you live through this duel, we might get some help.
Yeah.
The real question is, how good are you at using a flail?
A flail.
Oh, that's sick.
I am proficient with many things. Question
Yes.
mark, question mark.
So am I. But just because I know how to use a spear doesn't mean I'm very good at it. So, her choice of weapon is the flail. She wanted to be rather unorthodox. It's kind of funny because the royal family of Viandor, the sword is their preferred weapon. It's like the family crest, the family weapon. Since, she's a little bit of a rebel, want the flail.
I like this woman. She likes murder more than I do.
Damn.
And she hasn't seen quite as much combat due to her background, but when she gets the opportunity, she does speak
Someone say
out.
murder?
Yeah, murder.
Yeah, let's go.
You did not hear that from me,
Where?
by the way.
So she chooses to use a flail,
Mm-hmm.
and I can turn my packed weapon into whatever the hell I want. Technically.
That is true.
Okay. Would it be prudent of me to offer Morning as she is? Actually, and I kind of whispered, Morning, do you want to turn into a flail?
Out of all the weapons, a flail is something I'd least want.
Okay.
But
We'll
to be
put
in
a
the hands
pin
of
in
a
that.
princess, I'll actually make an exception.
We'll put a pin in that one.
Just turn her into whatever kind of weapon the princess is least likely to kill you with.
Dagger. Butter knife.
I will keep it
Don't
interesting
worry,
with my
don't worry.
original plan. She will use Morning as a spear, and I will use her flail.
By the way, no need to be worried. The worst you have to worry about is your...
Just Morning gutting me like a fish.
Oh, I'll do more than gut you if she's
Like a
really
fishy hook?
sensible with me.
Also, maybe her bodyguard guy taking offense to the fact that you wanted to duel her.
He can take a side seat.
But yes, well, you don't
Yeah.
have to worry about her gutting you with Morning. The best you have to worry about is your ego being shattered.
I will take one for the team.
Learning opportunity. Just be careful with the guards. If you lose a little too hard, you're probably never going to live it down there. In fact, I recommend not showing your face there ever again.
Understood.
You know how they are. Anything else, by the way? Because that is tomorrow, so you have a whole day to kill. Want to go back and get samples, or are you done with Sakala?
I'll hold off on. I am okay with not getting samples.
Good choice.
Considering we might be, doing something much cooler.
That is true.
Do I hear, like, undead squealing coming from Healer's room throughout the night?
No,
You
they're not.
probably... No, there would be no squealing. If you were to listen real close, you can hear cutting noises, though.
God.
I'm going to choose to ignore that.
I do have some stuff I want to do before we leave the tavern.
What's up?
So in the morning, I would use the sending spell to contact the tailor and give him the dimensions of the pig.
You get no response because I think that's how sending works, right? Is only
No,
one
they can
way.
I
respond.
got a response.
You just get a response like, "Excuse me, what? Huh?
Why is there a voice in my head?
Huh?
I will use a second sending spell.
He's using magic in a place where magic is very looked down upon.
With a second sending spell to let him know the sizes and tell him,
Hey, buddy, keeps the spell slots around for keeping me alive.
oh yeah. But no, I will send him. I'll sell him. It's the gnome. The tracksuit are medium sized. Make sure they look like Adidas. That's it.
Lord, Lord Adidas.
You won't get a response this time, but the message did send.
Oh no.
This is it. This is how we're all gonna die.
Yep.
Hmm?
Well, this is how everyone else.
Outed by zombie pigs and a 3-foot gnome.
Zombie
1 foot
pig
gnome.
gnome.
1 foot gnome.
I'm 3 feet tall, and he's
Yeah.
like the size of my leg.
A gnome made out of depleted uranium.
It's Swolbo. It's called a football. There's a difference.
Yeah, like he's literally the size of a football. Like,
Oh, doesn't even walk and catch up with
Oh,
you guys.
and I will.
he doesn't.
I will-
He rides in like a baby pack on the front
Now
of
you can
the
ride a
top-
pig.
DM question.
What's up?
How well did the pigs do butchering the other pigs?
What do I do for that? Animal
Have the
handling?
pigs roll a medicine check.
Medicine check.
You know, I'll just roll a d20.
Not
Awful.
good.
There's meat. The place is covered in meat and bones.
It's like a Roomba ran over a package of...
Exactly. Your roof is covered in starting to like meat that's starting to go bad.
Oh God.
Well, I mean, well, it's not that old, is it?
They're just the pigs are like standing in the corner, completely covered in pig gore. And they're just holding the knife and keep them in their mouth.
Well, I'm gonna take the pig meat down to Ronnie and Swobo, and I'll see, just if they want them.
Oh,
And I will tell my zombie pigs to play dead, and they'll crawl under the bed and play dead.
They just flop to their sides and just like.
I'll ask Ronnie if he can make some honey baked ham out of this.
God.
Well, now you have 2 zombie pigs under your bed.
and zombie
Which is-
pig chutney.
Yes. Or. Yeah, okay. So, what's the next plan of action?
So is Ronnie okay with making honey baked ham out of this?
Day old out at room temperature?
Answer the question, Ronnie.
Well, you were to get a Candace onto him?
You know what? Fine, I'll.
Yeah, because
This is a bad idea, so I'll have to convince him of it.
So he walks in.
Ronnie,
he's carrying
how
his
about you
bags.
try and take your best shot at some honey baked ham from this pig meat?
That's good.
Well,
You might as well just turned around and took a dump right in front of him because he's looking at you with.
The same.
hey, that is basically what he handed him.
You hand him some ham, and he's just like, "Ah!" And he just jumps back. Food in his arms are flying everywhere. He's like, looks down at it,
Jesus
and he just walks
Christ.
over, stomps it, and then backs up again. I think that moves, lad. I don't know what that is, but you didn't finish killing it. Or at least you killed it too bad and it came back for more. He just starts, he starts like hugging the room.
You have no idea how
slowly
right you
making
are.
his way and just starts running into the fucking kitchen, leaving the scattered food on the outside. And then
think
comes
that was
back
the
out
best
with a
possible
frying
outcome of
pan,
that.
and he starts smashing it with a frying pan.
What?
I'll make sure to finish it off, lad! Don't worry! It's gonna not move until it turns it... Oh! Calvin! Do you have any, like, alchemist fire? I don't think this frying pan's enough for this. And he's just... Ronnie, I am not burning down my tavern just because... Look! It just moved again! That's... he just starts running outside, shouting about the guards, like... And he's gone.
What happened?
So you brought down the pig meat.
Yeah.
I tried to persuade Ronnie into cooking some honey-baked ham out of the pig meat and rolled a nat 1.
Oh no.
Doesn't start stomping on it.
Pig meat's not zombie though.
Yeah.
It's
Might
just
as well
dead.
be to him.
I mean,
Nat
as bad of a job as I did, I think I just like threw this pig meat in his face or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's just
I- like,
Calvin
I-
just
I rolled
walks
a nat-
over.
I rolled a nat 1 to try and get him to cook it into ham.
Calvin just gathers all the
Beautiful.
fallen food and just walks to the kitchen and
Uh,
walks back out.
well, I guess we don't have any ham to give to the cleric lady.
Ham? Ronnie bought
Some more
some
if
not
we
too
want
long
to take
ago.
some slices.
I mean, I was saying that out of character, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we can slice some more if you need it.
Walking.
after
Fucking
the
provisions.
experience I just had, I think I'm giving up on getting ham.
Then you just see Ronnie running back in. This time with a fucking axe.
Uh-oh.
And he just starts smashing at it. Or slashing at it is probably a better term, until he cut it into tiny pieces. Then he pulls the axe back. Oh! This is just day old pork. Huh. He just takes his axe and just walks back into the kitchen like nothing happened.
Beautiful.
Wow, there's a spot in the floor now that looks completely torn up.
Sorry about that, Kelvin.
Oh, no problem at all. No problem whatsoever. By the way, where'd you get that? I saw you brought it from upstairs. I don't remember you.
Yeah, Healer Gnome bought it yesterday for some reason. Then he brought the meat downstairs. I don't know what he's doing up there.
I'm sharing.
Yeah.
Sharing it.
It's that's uncooked
Papa no
pork.
always
What do you...
says sharing is caring.
I don't
As
know.
long as it doesn't-
He probably just wanted to cook some special gnome meal with it. I don't know. Seems like a
Upstairs?
trustworthy guy.
I don't think there was a kitchen up there. No, there's no kitchen up there.
I don't know.
Why is he second guessing whether or not there's a kitchen upstairs?
Oh no, I eat
That was a
it.
good one.
I eat it raw, and I'll grin my teeth, my sharp, jagged teeth at him.
Christ.
Yeah, see, he's just
Note to
having some
self,
dinner.
Don't eat anything that he's touched. You know, why don't you all do something productive? Shoo, I need to go clean the rooms, and I need to help Ronnie with making dinner. Like hell you won't. I need to watch Ronnie make dinner. Please, before you have Ronnie tear up more floor, please.
Okay, bye.
Where do you guys go? That was...
Well, I guess this all happened. I guess because plate armor takes a while to put on, especially considering I'm not used to it. I'm now just going downstairs.
16 minutes? That's gotta be a world record. Unless it's your first time.
That's what she said.
Athena, you are so loud.
She just a walking wind chime.
Look at pots and pans.
Yeah, that's what someone without armor would say.
I have armor. It's made out of leather. Leather, which is a special kind of leather. Only us gnomes know how to make.
Natural 20 on insight. What you got there, Yeleno? What kind of leather exactly is it made from?
You're reading like a fucking book.
It's definitely made of other gnomes.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no! Oh no! We're fucking in a party with a 1-foot Ted Bundy.
This is some Silence of the Lambs shit.
Yup.
If I see Athenia looking at me crazy, I will wink at her, and I will say, "Waste not, want not."
Something tells me he's been planning to make this into a
Oh no!
Alexandros again.
At least we know who's the
Oh,
first one
it's
who's
a
gonna be.
new character.
It's a new Yeah, it's a new character. It's
This isn't Alexandros at all.
Alexandros, except she's a 1-foot gnome.
squints at handwriting on
Alex.
on palm.
Have you guys ever
Alex-
seen this? Have you guys
He's
ever
out.
seen the South Park Christmas episode with the animal friends?
No, I have not, but that sounds fucked.
Oh,
considering the
yeah.
context.
They're just
Considering the
animal
context,
friends.
that sounds fucked.
The ones where they like are all worshiping Satan.
Yeah, they all worship Satan, but they're all adorable. That's basically a healer gnome.
Yeah.
I think I found the final boss.
No.
Don't I'm
Oh, look, you brought our
madman.
friend back to us. Hail Satan, let's have an orgy.
That's right.
All right.
Is this where we wrap up?
We're good.
Yeah.
No fighting yet, but you guys already have an idea of how things are going to go
okay.
very soon.
Yeah, we'll have people next session.
Yep, hopefully, and then you guys can get into the dirty stuff. Actually, I shouldn't have said that.
Yep,
This is
Sakala,
basically just-
Sakala likes dwarf ham.
This is basically just Swolbo watching like all of the cutscenes
By the way, Mother Hobo, more
until he
like
gets into the combat.
He's just impatiently hitting escape and it's not working.
Unskippable cutscenes.
Swolbo's just
Okay,
like
but-
watching the cutscenes, waiting for the like fight to start.
Okay, it's this GIF. I mean, this emoji.
Oh
It's this emoji, except with the escape key.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. I got some cool shit planned. It's just got to get all that talking out of the way.
I just got a major boost in everything just now. We got +3 more AC and +2 charisma.
Just so you know, Drew, you barely beat the save.
What would
Yeah, I
happen
have
if
died.
you didn't?
I probably would have died.
Dead.
No, you just would have gotten a +1 charisma as well as a couple of side effects that will last
And
for
if
a
I
little while.
what would have happened if I nat 20?
3 charisma.
No, I don't want to think about it. I didn't plan that far ahead. I
8
should have.
charisma.
Also, so just to boost the stat, I gave myself a charisma
Yeah,
tome.
Yeah, just use that. It's basically the same thing.
I don't think it counts as it doesn't count as an attuned item, so.
Nope.
Yeah, I now have a +9 to persuasion, +9 to my charisma saves, and wait till I hit like level 7.
There are more stuff like
and then
that
I have a
out there.
+15 to charisma saves.
Alright.